All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Today we kick off a double header of live women's football as we start with this early WSL action. We're going to be focusing our attention as Manchester United take on Liverpool. We've got 4 games in this early slot. All of the WSL fixtures of game week 14 are on today. And of course we round out this evening with the final of the FIFA Women's Champions Cup. So lots to look forward to. But let's start with Manchester United versus Liverpool then, Harry. A very interesting clash has provided a lot of intrigue over the years. But I'll answer for now. But it's been a clash that's offered a lot of intrigue over the years. We've seen Liverpool at the back end of last season. They pulled off a huge 3-0 result against Manchester United. This is a clash that's gone either way, has been incredibly hotly contested between the two teams. And this season, well, we saw earlier this season, it was a lot more comfortable for United. Liverpool obviously struggling in the first half of the campaign. And yeah, we saw, but I think this will be a lot closer than it was in the first half of the season. Liverpool have done a lot to improve their side. They've got a lot of new signings in the lineup today, which we'll get to in just a moment. So they're a lot closer to United than they were at the start of this season. Have they bridged that gap to where they have been in previous years? Well, that remains to be seen. Nigel, welcome to the stream. Says, yes, lads, I'm breaking it for both men's and women's teams today. Yes, some big matches for Man City, Nigel, in their pursuit of titles. And Tafike saying, I hate Man United, whether it's men, women, or anything. Well, you're in the right place. No, it should be a good stream. So I think United are going to be good. They looked a lot better last weekend, Harry, than they had to start the year. Some difficult results, difficult performances, but they got through in the League Cup into the final. Last weekend in the league looked a lot more comfortable. So United starting to turn a corner, you think, after what was a bit of a tough end to 2025?
Yeah, as you say, I thought they looked much better. It was convincing against what is a very, very good Aston Villa side, and I think we have to give them a lot of credit for that. There's been some performances that weren't, retrospective of their quality and where they want to be in the table, but I think last week was much, much better for them, and this week they'll be looking to pounce on what is a very big weekend for that top 4 race. Chelsea taking on City, Arsenal not playing. It presents United with a lovely opportunity today to gain some points on those 3 sides ahead of them, potentially climb back into the Champions League places. But yeah, they looked much better last week. They're going to need that kind of level of performance today because we know the quality of the opposition. But yeah, I was impressed by Man United last week, and hopefully they can deliver a performance that can match that quality today.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's take a look then at the lineups. Then we'll get to the thoughts of the audience before we kick off today's game. We'll start with the Manchester United side then, as they are the hosts. It looks like the usual 4-2-3-1 for United today. In goal, Fallon Joyce keeps her spot between the sticks. A back 4 of Jade Riviere, Maya Letitia, Dominique Janssen and Anna Sandberg. Then the midfield pivot of the usual Miyazawa and Zigiotti Olma. Park on one side, Mallard on the other. Then it's Narsund in the 10 and Turland to lead the line. Bit of rotation there from United. Is that sensible in a game like this?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think, again, it's really difficult to judge when you've got a side in Liverpool who are lower down the table, potentially better than that represents. But I still think it's a good United side. As you say, a bit of rotation in that midfield. I'm really intrigued to see how Narsund gets on in this game. I think a player that has been a bit hit and miss for United. And when she has come in, that has coincided with some poor results. Not necessarily her fault, but in terms of as being part of that rotation set of players has, cost United at times this season. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how she gets on in there with Zigiotti and how they operate against what is a very, very good Liverpool midfield. That's going to be the key battle today. Miyazawa, I think, playing higher up does give you a lot of quality in going forwards, but because of the fact that she played a lot in the pivot, she'll also give some defensive cover. So I think that 3-on-3 midfield battle between the two sides is going to be fascinating to watch. And someone like Zigiotti could make the real difference.
Yeah, you'd think in terms of which profiles fit the different roles best, Miyazawa in that 10 role would probably be better than Narsund. But I do just wonder whether Skinner doesn't want to disrupt a pivot that's functioned really well this season. So I think he'll probably keep that the same and use Narsund slightly higher up. I mean, even when we've seen Awujo come into the side, he really doesn't want to disrupt the midfield pivot. So I think he'll stick with that again. But Nalsuni in that higher role is going to be interesting. She's more of a utility midfielder than someone who's going to create chances, someone who's going to operate well in the pockets. But maybe we'll see her more creative side today. And obviously Park inverting inside to form that midfield. It is going to be the biggest creator on the pitch for them. So she's going to be really important today. And obviously Riviera and Sandberg getting high, being able to create the width will be super important for them. A lot of predictions coming into the live chat. Let's look first, though, at the side for the visitors. Liverpool with a few new faces in their team. In goal, new signing Jennifer Falk starts again after what was a really impressive few weeks as Liverpool's starting number one. In the back four, it's Shimizu, Clark, Fisk and Bernabé. So a little bit of rotation there for Liverpool, but still looking fairly strong. In the midfield pivot, it's going to be Nagano alongside Denise O'Sullivan, with Kapox in the 10. On one wing, it's Bergstrom. On the other, Kerry Holland. And leading the line, it is new signing Martha Thomas. So a few new faces, a bit of rotation, but this does look like a Liverpool side who, after last week's performance, are looking more competitive.
Yeah, exactly that. Last weekend was massive to get their first win of the season on the board, but to do it against a Tottenham side that have been really strong this campaign, that was very encouraging for Liverpool. And I think that they've looked so much better as the season's gone on. They lost all of their first 6 games, and then in the 7 following that, they've picked up 7 points. It's been much more hopeful, and I think this will be a game where they'll really fancy themselves, even if they don't get a result. I look at that Liverpool side. I think, of course, they've brought in loads of attackers. I like to focus on that back line because I think that although it's been the flashy new attackers that have come into the side and done really well that everyone's been focusing on, that the way their defensive record has shifted is massively encouraging. Falk was immense in that Tottenham game, some massive saves, has been a difference maker in she's come in, kept 2 clean sheets already. That shows the quality she's got. Fisk back into right back, Shimizu fit again, Bernabé fit again. Everything just looks much stronger for them defensively, and that gives the platform of the front line to then push on and do well. Liverpool have had a good front line all season, but the problem is they were being let down by errors at the back and the amount of goals they were conceding. But the fact they've shored up defensively now allows that front line to flourish. And they're starting to look like a real complete team. The table now really doesn't tell the whole story, and I think this will be a much closer game than the table would demonstrate.
Yeah, I think, as you say there, as important as Falk coming into the side has been, and we can't understate that because Faye Kirby was really poor and Liverpool lacked assurance in their goalkeeper. What's arguably been more important is the return of Fisk and, as you say, dropping back now into centre-half, and the return of Frisa Shimizu being able to invert into midfield at times and offer you a lot more solidity. So, yeah, I think the only change obviously that back line from what we've seen in the last few weeks is the left back. But I think Bernabé is very exchangeable with Wooden. Both of you are very similar profiles. So if anything, Bernabé will be slightly more defensive, and I think that makes sense for a game like today. So Liverpool definitely building something, and again, as you say, the defence then gives that platform for the attack. They've got some really good attackers now. O'Sullivan's a fantastic progressor, and they've been really good at getting the ball forward into dangerous areas. They've now got better creators, and they've got better finishes. It puts them in a really good position now, especially when you consider they still don't have Beta Olsen, they still don't have Mary-Therese Herbinger, they still don't have Sam Kerr. They're definitely building something now. Liverpool. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they can achieve today. We've got 5 minutes till kickoff. Then, shall we get into some predictions? We'll start with we've got a few thoughts in the live chat first. Welcome to everyone saying hi. By the way, Carl asking, you aren't watching Chelsea in person today? No, it'd be a very expensive endeavour to go to Manchester today, but would love to do so, but unfortunately not possible. Few predictions, but we'll get to those in just a moment. Loke is saying, I smell a draw. And H says, great day of women's football ahead. Absolutely. Nigel asking, no Enderby. No, but we did see Enderby also have that big impact off the bench against Tottenham. Presumably they're looking then for a similar impact off the bench for her today.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that what we're seeing now with the new players coming in is they've signed players to raise their ceiling, to come in and start for them, that have got the quality, but now the players that were starting have turned into those rotation impact players, and it gives Gareth Taylor options, and Liverpool for the first time in 2 years actually have some squad depth to them, which is massively important. So yeah, I think no Enderby starting. which can be confusing because she did score that brace, but I think she's better in that super sub role where the pressure isn't on her to score. When she starts from the off, she has really, really struggled, and obviously hadn't scored in the league until this season, but she's on a good run. But I think that can still be built on and developed from the bench, and I think that again she could come into this game and have a real impact.
Absolutely. Well, let's dive into predictions then. If you're watching along to the live show, get involved in the live chat and let us know your score prediction for this game. We're going to start here in the studio, though, and we'll start with yourself, Harry. What is your prediction for today's game?
I think it'll be a competitive one. I think it will be a close game, but I am going to say Manchester United to get the result over the line. I will say United 2, Liverpool 1. It will be a close game. Definitely be a close game. But I think that the bigger side will come out on top. United will take advantage of the other games this weekend and look to get back into the top 3. I think Liverpool will make them work hard for it, though. I'll say the Reds to take the lead, Liverpool to take the advantage through Martha Thomas, and then United to peg them back in the second half with goals from, I will say, Hinata Miyazawa to get the first, and then the winner is going to come from Melvin Mallard.
Fair enough. I think this will look very comfortable for United in the first half, and I think the game will switch very suddenly. I'm going to say United 2, Liverpool 2. Ooh. I think United will be 2 up at half-time, goals from Turland and Jess Park. I then think there's going to be an early red card in the second half. Ball played in behind. We know Liverpool are going to look to be transitional. They're going to look to introduce a bit of verticality. United can get caught out at times. Red card for one of the centre-backs. Probably Dominique Janssen. We do tend to see her get embroiled sometimes in those battles. So I can see her getting a red card. The game then swings and Liverpool are able to mount a comeback. And I think it'll be Beta Olsen from the bench. And I'm tempted to go for another substitute. I'll say Silag from the bench as well. A huge turnaround. And I think it will be the points shared then. So a 2-2 prediction. Nigel saying 2-0 United. Phil saying 3-3. Hopefully a fun game. That would be a very fun game. Lars going completely the other way, saying 0-0. Not quite as fun. And Carl saying 3-0 with a Riviere red card. Not another one for Jade Riviere. So lots of predictions in the live chat. Get involved if you haven't already. 52 votes, though, as well in the poll. 69% going United, 23% Liverpool, and 8% for a draw.
Yeah, I think that there's clearly a lot of neutrals. A lot of people just want to see some really exciting action in them. With the big 3, City, Chelsea, and Arsenal not in action in these early fixtures. I think that there's a lot of neutrals that are just hoping for a lot of action. But in terms of the teams involved, it's absolutely massive. United, not only for that top, looking to chase the top 3. Liverpool could get off the bottom of the league for the first time this season with a win. West Ham have got a massive one against Tottenham. That's a big game for both sides at different ends of the table. And then there's some, Brighton, London City, another, that's a big clash in the mid-pack. And Villa, Everton, well, Aston Villa are going to get 3 points. But I think 4 games this morning where a lot of people were looking at neutrals, but for the clubs involved, these fixtures are absolutely massive. It's a whole day of massive fixtures, obviously with City, Chelsea to come. But I think this weekend it could be crucial for the destination of both the title, the Champions League spots, but also that relegation playoff.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a chance to take advantage of the fixtures for both of the teams involved in this game. If Liverpool win, they guarantee they won't be bottom because Leicester aren't in action.
Yeah.
So even if West Ham and Everton, which seems unlikely at the moment, but if they both got a result, Liverpool would still not be bottom. For United, well, obviously Arsenal not in action. Chelsea with an incredibly difficult game against Manchester City. A win would put them second, and there's a good chance they stay there at least for a week. So United can put themselves in serious contention again for Champions League football. A loss and it swings the other way because suddenly they're behind Arsenal, they're behind Chelsea, and Arsenal would have a game in hand on them. So, and obviously they could see themselves drop behind Tottenham as well. So it's so close at the moment in that battle for the bottom, the battle at the top, and in fairness in the mid pack as well. Brighton, Aston Villa, and London City having a little scrap of their own there. They seem to trade positions every week. So there's lots of action in the WSL this season. It's getting very interesting as we get towards the business end. Both sets of players are out on the field, ready to get started here at the Leeds Sports Village. It's going to be Manchester United to get us underway. Knocks it back. We're underway here at the Leeds Sports Village. It's Manchester United taking on Liverpool in this early WSL Sunday fiction. Of course, we'll keep tabs across the WSL for the 12 o'clock kickoffs. Riviere. Back now to Jess Park, trying to open up space for the cross. Forced backwards, though, by Kerry Holland. Ziggy Otti And Park unable to keep that in touch. It's knocked out of play by Holland, and United looking to impose their authority early in this game then, holding possession high up the field. Janssen goes out to the left-hand side. Sandberg has options down the line. Here's Mallard now on the touchline. Lovely move inside to get past Shimizu. Plays it into turn on the shoulder of Fisk, who will take aim early here and forces a good, strong save out of Jennifer Falk.
Yeah, fast start by Manchester United. Exactly what they need to do. Try and put Liverpool under pressure early and catch them napping. Don't mind this from Turland. Does well. First touch is positive to get a yard away from Fisk. Decent shot from that angle. Going to be hard to beat Falk, but testing the new Liverpool goalkeeper early doors.
Absolutely. Letizia back to Riviere now. Emily, welcome to the stream, going for a 1-1 prediction. And IJ letting us know all the other games have kicked off. Yes, do keep us up to date. Anyone watching those other 12 o'clock kickoffs of the action in those games. Melvin Mallard looking to stretch the play now to Riviere. Wider still to Park. In this wide pocket, what can she make happen? Riviere again. Back now to Letizia. Swung into the area and headed away well by Nagano. We can already see, though, the flow of this game emerging. Liverpool are happy to give up a little bit of territory, are happy to give up a lot of the possession, but if they can spring forwards into the space in behind, that's when they can suddenly move the ball very quickly and look to hurt Manchester United. But at the moment, it has been all United as Riviere there, coming down the right-hand side, not able to keep that in play.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think that although we know Gareth Taylor's side, sides love to have the ball and we want to dominate the possession, I think he has turned this Liverpool side to be good at both. They can be very much on the ball and play good football, but they're better out of possession. They can let United have a bit more of the possession and then look to strike. I think Gareth Taylor has found a bit more of a balance.
Thomas now tries to feed it through the lines, and Holland will work hard. Cleared away, though, comfortably by Valentine's Choice, clearing the halfway line, but it bounced out of play for a throw-in. Zit is going 5-0 United. That's one hell of a prediction after Liverpool's better form in recent weeks. And IJ letting us know he'll keep tabs on Brighton London City. Thank you very much. Fisk back now to Falk. Out towards the right-hand side. That's a lovely ball forward from Shimizu, headed wide by Thomas. Bergstrom holds on to the ball. Back now to Shimizu. And she'll go into Clark. And now across to Falk. Interesting to see, it looks like Fisk and Clark have swapped sides. We've seen Clark on the left-hand side and Fisk on the right. Why is that today? I'm very intrigued.
It'll be interesting to see. Especially because they did start on the other way around, because we just early that turn of effort, she beat Fisk on the right. So whether that's happened and they've gone immediately swap them. But,
I do wonder if they're trying to get that ball in behind from Fisk on the left hand side, trying to attack the space behind Jade Riviere potentially.
Yeah.
Kapox into Clark, lifts it down the line, touchdown by Thomas, and Nagano will get there. O'Sullivan back to Nagano. And now into Grace Fisk, who can carry this ball forwards. Plays it into Denise O'Sullivan, back towards Fisk. Can she find a pass forward? Thomas dropped in a little bit there to receive it. Not the preferred option there. Goes back to Clark.
I do like that shift to Thomas today. I know she was lone tied last week, so Silag was probably forced, and we probably would have seen Thomas start if it wasn't against Tottenham. But I do like that shift.
Falling behind, and Holland's going to get there, and here come Liverpool now. Can she play it across the box? She can. Holland won't get there, and Saber choosing the safe option there. But Liverpool so easily able to play it quickly back to front and get into the final third and try and create a chance.
Yeah, you spoke about that space in behind Riviere, and it's Bernabeit who slots the ball through. Really good run from Holland. And the ball across wasn't a bad one. Thomas was a bit too far behind it, and Sandberg had to deal with it because Bergstrom was the one arriving at the far post. But really, smart defending from Sandberg. Takes no risk, gets it gone. But really good stuff from Liverpool.
Indeed. And so, what can they create from this corner? We know Liverpool have got a bit of height about them. We've not really seen them threaten enough from set pieces. Can they threaten from this situation? Holland, the one over it. Looks to deliver it in towards the near post, and that's headed away well. And touched on by Hinata Miyazawa. Nagano's under pressure and Turner keeps that press on. Shimizu quick to sweep up and actually launching the counter charge. Unable to find Kapox though, as Sandberg uses her body excellently and can clip it out of play.
Yeah, again, I like that from Liverpool. It's that playing positively. Shimizu there could easily put her foot on it, slow it down and let everyone get back into shape. But no, they're trying to be an aggressive side. They're not coming in and accepting the fact they're expected to be the underdog. They're looking to recycle that ball quickly and keep United under pressure.
Or even just launch it out of play.
Yeah,
that's
true.
the safest option there. And there's a little bit of a mix-up there between after the throw, and it is now a Man United throw on the far side. Sandberg goes back to Janssen. Miyazawa under pressure, does well to turn out of it. Sandberg now down the line. Turland drops to receive, lays it off to Hinata Miyazawa. And that's out. And the referee, they're not really sure which direction it goes in, but it will be a Liverpool throw.
Yeah. Not sure anyone was certain about that one. But again, I like this. Liverpool are up for this. It's exactly what they need to be. They're great. They're getting stuck in. They're being combative, and trying to play on the front foot.
United's record at home this season, not one to be aspired towards really. 5 wins away from her, only 2 wins at the Lee Sports Village though. Pass inside to Kapox, able to turn out well. And she gets past Igiotti, is brought down. That could be an early yellow card here. Referee happy to keep her cards in the pocket and just offer a warning here. But that's a breakaway broken down by a blatant foul.
Yeah, not sure about that one. I think Igiotti is very fortunate. I'm not really sure what the argument here is that that's not a yellow card. If Kapox beats her, it's a 4-on-3 for Liverpool.
It's the 7th minute. Referee doesn't want to give a yellow card, but you make a challenge like that, it very much should have been a yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll see no yellow cards given for the first half an hour, and then we'll get about 4 in the 4 or 5 in the second half. But yeah, Igiotti got away with one there massively.
Nigel says Brighton dominating early proceedings, London City struggling to play out. I could have predicted that one. London City struggling to play out against a really good pressing team. But we'll see how that game goes.
I thought London City should have learned from last week that they are much more suited and better at playing a bit more of don't say negative, but defensive style. They were quite, they're good at against Man City of just being a bit deeper, a bit more compact, and looking to spring forward and break away.
They were very direct, weren't they?
Yeah.
In transitional moments, and they kept getting in behind City. You think Brighton, because they're a lower side, they have dropped their line a little bit deeper this season, but they still play rather high. Miyazawa picking off a loose pass in there off of Kapox, tries to play it forward into Niall soon. Now can she open the space for a shot? Doesn't back herself. And a delay there allows O'Sullivan to win back possession. Charland now a chance, and it's saved well by Falk. Frantic on the edge of the area. Liverpool able just about to get it away, but O'Sullivan there won it back, immediately gave possession back to United, and Turland able to test Falk again.
Yeah, but not sure. Liverpool very scrappy, and that's where the problem can come sometimes when you are in that mentality of looking to be positive and try and play everything out. They did well to kind of suffocate Niall Sunday. Sullivan turns it over, and under the pressure of Mallard gets the pass wrong. Ends up setting it up nicely for Turland, who on the turn, that's a really good strike, and another big save from Falk already. Again, we spoke about her being the difference maker in the last couple of games. That's another great save.
Holland nods it on towards Thomas. Cleared away by Igiotti. And now Fisk up against Turland in the foot race. One back by Clark, who's able to hook it away. Riviere jumps on the ball. O'Sullivan. Now Nagano under pressure. Picked off at the pitch, and I think there was a call for a foul in there, not given. But O'Sullivan's the player who comes away with the ball. Can she pick out a teammate now? Looking towards the right-hand side. Shifts it into Clark, and United able to get back into their shape. Out wide now with Alice Bergstrom. And she's dealt with well by Sandberg. Shimizu, though, will look to play it in behind. Kapox makes the run off the shoulder. Chance here for Liverpool. She can keep it in play, but a touch is loose. And that goes off of the field of play.
Yeah, again, looking to be direct, I think Kapox has got to realise where she is there and swing that in first time. She got there in time to be able to put the ball in, but just tried to take a touch and ran out of road. But again, that directness, getting in behind Manchester United's back line and, a couple of inches, shorter, and that could have been another dangerous ball in for Liverpool.
Ball out to the left-hand side. Sandberg looking down the line. Strong control there on the chest from Melvin Mallard on the left-hand side. Dispossessed, though, and Liverpool look to spring forward again quickly. Kapox wriggles past a few players, is going backwards here, though. Shimizu goes down the line. Bergstrom plays it inside, and that's picked off well by Zigiotti. Miyazawa. Now back to Letitia. Janssen into Sandberg, goes down the line. Touched back by Narsoon. Nice combination. But again, Liverpool's very combative in midfield today. They play out well there. Sandberg and Miyazawa combining. Can she find a forward pass now? Sandberg. Wider still to Narsoon. Skips past Shimizu. Nice footwork. Tries to play the final ball. And that's a poor pass. Nagano, though, dispossessed in her attempts to clear it away. Mallard crosses it in from the left-hand side. Park at the back post. Plays it towards goal. The shot, though, not struck with venom or accuracy.
Yeah, again, not bad from Manchester United. Liverpool got to be careful of overplaying. That's the second time now that one of the defensive midfielders have tried to play out their own penalty area and end up giving it away. First, it was O'Sullivan, and then it was there Nagano. Liverpool's got to be careful of trying too hard to play out.
And while the deadlock remains intact here, the first goal of this Sunday afternoon, West Ham 1, Tottenham 0. A big start to that game then. Shakira Martinez with goals in back-to-back games. Are West Ham refinding their level, Harry?
Yeah, maybe so. It's incredible how seasons and football games can shift magnificently. Tottenham, flying this season, and suddenly they, get beaten by a Liverpool side at the bottom of the league, and now they're trailing to a West Ham side who sit second bottom. Well, not anymore, but yeah, it's incredible. Tottenham have got to be careful they don't end up getting dragged into a mid-pack battle after what was a really good start to the season.
As it stands, West Ham would climb on to 11 points in ninth. That put them just 6 points behind London City.
Wow.
Obviously a long way to go in all of the games, though. Mallard there going too early as she breaks in behind, and Liverpool able to sweep up without issue.
Yeah. Mal went a bit too early there. Again, I think she gets away with one here. She just decided to volley the ball away once the whistle had gone. And you've got to be careful with things like that. I mean, it was a bit, not sure any need to do that. But Liverpool, I like that, playing that relatively high line when they can or when they are trying to get onto United.
Yeah.
Been a good start by both.
Phil says Martinez form burst in the second half of the season again. Potentially so. I mean, she's starting on the right track. And if West Ham are going to be safe this season, they're going to have to rely on Shakira Martinez to find them some more goals. But she's certainly going the best way about it as we kick off this, as we continue, the new year. Zigiotti looking towards the left-hand side. Mallard now holding the width well. Has options in the box. Looks to cross it towards the edge of the area. And that's picked off by Alejandra Bernabe. Plays it forwards. Kapox, though, can't quite reach it. Park just lays it back to Riviere, who now looks to the left-hand side and finds Janssen. And she'll carry it forwards. And now into the overlapping runner, Sandberg, who will look to swing it in on that left foot. People queuing up at the back post. Bernabe, though, the one who rose highest and headed it away. Drops on the edge there, and Letitia was queuing up to shoot it. But Miyazawa was holding one of the Liverpool midfielders back there.
Yeah. Again, Liverpool, that all comes again from misplaced pass. And yes, they're still making errors, but the difference is to what they were doing at the start of the season was that it was players in the back line who were making mistakes and giving away goal-scoring opportunities. At the moment, the errors are coming just between a bit of a disconnect between centre-halves and midfielders. So when those passes are misplaced and they do give the ball away, they're not giving it away in their own penalty area. They've still got time to recover, and they are recovering pretty well. But they've just, again, I think in possession, I like the fact they're trying to be positive and try and keep their foot on the ball. But United are turning the ball over a lot more often than Gareth Taylor will be happy with at the moment.
Absolutely. And not too surprising, it starts the game at Goodison Park, Everton 0. Aston Villa 1, a familiar theme for Everton this season. A mistake at the back, leading to Aston Villa capitalising, and Ebony Salmon scores for Aston Villa.
I thought that was going to be Kirsty Hansen.
Yeah, I'd have put money on it being Kirsty Hansen based on her scoring record this season, but good to see Salmon perhaps rekindling a bit of confidence after what's been quite a frustrating first half of the campaign for her.
I mean, if I was an out-of-form striker, the one backline I'd want to play against would be Everton, because they just, as you've said there, they just give you the ball and you get the score. But yeah, Brian Sorensen's got some problems there.
Yeah, Janssen committing the foul, just too desperate in her attempts to win back possession. Nudging over at Cornelia Capox. That's a bit it also looks like, based on who's playing, they may have switched back to a 4-back. Which is an interesting shift. Ball inside now. Nagano carrying it forwards. Miyazawa wins it cleanly. Now out to the left-hand side. Mallard pounced on well by Shimizu. Now Nagano. Lays it into Kerry Holland. Plays wide into Bernabe, who's going to need support here. O'Sullivan comes across to be that option. Is going to be forced backwards. Clark. Now to Fisk. Bounces back to Clark. Has Shimizu to her right. Does find over the pass. Who's going to go wider now into Bergstrom. Back to Shimizu, and United doing a good job of forcing Liverpool deep here. Falk comes up to split the centre-backs, lifting it out towards the right-hand side. And it looks like Sandberg heads that out of play, and Liverpool regain the territory they lost.
Yeah, and again, that's really good from Falk. And again, that's another element that she gives you. There, you've got someone else in goal. Clark has got to try and deal with that with Turland on her back, and she's got to come up and do something without making an error. But Falk was right there, on the spot to deal with it. Could take it off Clark's hands and deal with it in a better and more positive fashion.
Yeah, absolutely, and just composed coming that far out of her goal. Liverpool making a bit of an error of the throw again, though. That's not the first time they've done that today, and that is a Manchester United throw-in as they look to progress from the far side. Sandberg. Headed on. Mallard going down the left-hand side. Dispossessed well by Clark, who tries to find Shimizu, and Zigiotti lashing that into the crowd.
If in doubt. Yeah, I think we mentioned that midfield battle at the start of the game. It has been very combative in there. It's been really enjoyable so far, and I think that is where Liverpool just getting the upper hand. It's the on-the-ball stuff where United are winning back a bit of control. But, in that competitive element of this game, Liverpool are winning.
Indeed. Here's Park. Headed down well by Turland. Letitia, Riviere under a bit of pressure here, and O'Sullivan forcing her out of play. That will be a United throw-in, though, which Liverpool are a little frustrated by. Riviere. Want to go down the line. Not happy with any of her options here, Jade Riviere. Does now go down the line, but it will be Fisk who gets there. Drops midfield for Nagano to head on to O'Sullivan. Zigiotti assertive in there, but I think the wrong side of the law again, and has committed a foul. Zigiotti's got to be careful, because she should already be on a yellow card. Surely it's not long if she continues with this persistent fouling. The referee will put her into the book.
100%.
Here's Clark under a lot of pressure there from Narsoon. Sold a little short by Falk. Thomas unable to make that ball stick. And Zigiotti taking possession off of Miyazawa. I think O'Sullivan getting her own back there. Out of the eye line of the referee. Here's Park. Back now to Jade Riviere. Now Letitia. And here's Janssen. Sandberg. Mallard now. Felt very unnecessary that from O'Sullivan, I have to say. It's it's not something we want to see, is players just lumping into others as a form of retaliation. Because I think Zigiotti there's not been malice in her challenges so far. She's just been a little bit late.
Yeah, but that's what happens when Zigiotti doesn't get booked for the very obvious yellow card initially. Because if she gets booked, then none of what has happened in the last 15 minutes happens.
Yeah, ball on there from United, and Mallard, she couldn't decide whether or not to go for that. Just kept sprinting and stopping, sprinting or stopping. If she sprinted at full power, I think she may well have kept that in.
Yeah, I think she wasn't going to get... I don't think she went to not go for it, and then she saw Falk retreating, which looked like... which to a striker will look like Falk thinks that's going to stay in, but yeah, just couldn't really decide, and in the end it was too late and the board ran out of play.
Into Fisk on the left-hand side. O'Sullivan back to Fisk. Carries the ball forward brilliantly here. Grace Fisk. Can she now find the forward pass? Plays it into Capox. One more now to the overlapping runner, Shimizu. This is great from Liverpool. Ball in. Head away well by Janssen. But that, a fast counter-attacking move executed brilliantly and kicked off by that great drive from Grace Fisk.
Yeah, brilliant football all round. 3 passes and they went from the halfway line into the United penalty area, and a crucial intervention from Dominique Janssen to take it off the head of Martha Thomas. Great ball in from Shimizu. And yes, a big header from Janssen because Thomas was lurking. But really good from Liverpool. And it just, when they can have that turn of pace, they can cause United all sorts of problems.
Absolutely. So Liverpool once again then with this set piece. And it's Holland over it. Laying it into the right area. It's headed towards goal. Not with much power by Clark though. And it's headed away. Kept alive here by Nagano. And Mallard, the player, to steer it clear. Fisk will get a foot on the football. And just knock it back to Falk, and Liverpool can take their shape again. Falk, very comfortable, miles out from her goal. Into Bernabé, tries to play down the line, takes a nick off Riviere, and that will be a Liverpool throw-in. There is space to exploit though, and Liverpool are much more secure in possession, and they've got players now who are good enough to exploit these gaps. United are very aggressive in their press, and that is very effective against teams who perhaps struggle to play from the back. But this Liverpool side look really good now and aren't afraid to clip that ball a little bit longer, play a more ambitious pass. Bergstrom back into Shimizu. Now Nagano, and that's another late one from Zigliotti, deemed fair though by the referee. Bernabé. Now O'Sullivan. Did she perhaps just get there ahead of Nagano? Didn't look great from our angle though. Great win from Nalsund here. Turner now. Can she take game? Blocked by Fisk. And Falk stops it going from a corner. Brilliant goalkeeping there from Jennifer Falk. And she's furious as that's been given as a corner.
No, I'm not sure about that one. Really not sure about that one. I think Falk's done a brilliant job on the line.
This was clumsy from Clark. Yeah. Just gave O'Sullivan no chance really of holding on to that ball. I'm not sure how it could have gone out. Because Falk stays on the field of play the whole time and keeps it in.
Yeah, it's unlucky. Good block from Fisk. And yeah, Falk, that's a brilliant piece of goalkeeping to keep it in, and she's unlucky that's been given against her.
Oh, Sky managed to find the one angle there from miles away that looks like it may have gone. Just because of the perspective and you can't actually see the line. Corner though for United. Can they capitalise on this then? And it will be swung in by Sandberg. Zigliotti getting on the goalkeeper. That is hit towards the back post. Clearly a routine to it. Janssen header towards goal, but it's wide of the mark. Cleared away. Park skips past Kapox. Brilliant from Thomas there. Defending from the front here as it's their attacking players dealing with the ball. Thomas tries to play it back inside though. Zigliotti picking it off. Here's Sandberg. Plays it inside to Janssen, who's just pushed up a little higher now for United into a sort of midfield role. Plays it forwards long to Mallard, who's just dragged down Bernabé there and would be incredibly lucky not to get a yellow card. The referee seems a pacifist in this one, happy to just have another talking to, but no, it will be a yellow card. She took her time to make the decision, the referee, but I think that is a justified caution on 23 minutes from Melvin Mallard.
Yeah, I think the foul alone was a yellow card, just throws Bernabé on the floor.
Doesn't really matter what Bernabé's done there. She's frustrated. She doesn't do anything wrong as well. I mean, Mallard's acting like she's done something wrong. She's just poked the ball away.
I think the funny thing is as well is that I think Mallard was going to get away with just a foul until she then continued to talk and walked off from the referee while she was talking to her. Really silly one from Melvin Mallard, because she could have just ran off there and got away without the booking.
Got frustrated, threw someone on the floor.
Complained about it.
And still complained about it. That's just take the talking to. This referee's shown that she is quite willing to allow a little bit of fouling here and there. But Mallard's talked herself into the book. First goal in the game as well between Brighton and London City. Kiko Seike finding that goal. Brighton 1, London City 0. Nigel saying it's a lovely team goal. We know Brighton are capable of playing that football when they're on it. And that's really important in their chase to finish in the top half. That close midfield battle with Aston Villa picking up 3 points. Brighton with a chance to not only take 3 points, but take 3 points off of London City. That'll be a really important victory if they can see it out. Here's Mallard. So we're watching the only goal in the early games that hasn't got a goal yet.
It's typical, but it has been a good it's been an even contest, which I think is, I wouldn't say it's deserving of a goal yet. I don't think either side have done enough obviously, United have had some good attempts and forced out into a couple of saves. Liverpool haven't. I mean, Talis Joyce hasn't had to do anything, so far. But yeah, so I don't think it's a game that has, we're sat here going, one team deserves a goal, but it has been an even contest.
Indeed, Riviere with the throw in here on the near side for United. And she looks to swing it into the area. And a bit of a confusion there, but it is headed away by Liverpool in the end. And Thomas clearing it forward, searching for the striker, then realising she is the striker and chasing it. Fisk heads it down. Bergstrom. And now Liverpool able to settle on the ball. Hermie says United should win this one. They've not had it all their own way. It's been a very combative game. That's another blatant foul from Ziggiotti, pushing Denise O'Sullivan in the back, and she'll make her frustrations known to the referee. Liverpool still have the ball, though. Foul count to the right-hand side. Shimizu tries to play it past Mallard. Mallard able to win it back. And Bergstrom carries the ball forward now, skips away from Ziggiotti, who made another blatant attempt at a foul. And it's cleared away by Riviere. There's a red card in this game. There's
battle.
Absolutely a red card in this game.
There is a battle brewing between Ziggiotti and Denise O'Sullivan, and I'm really liking it because there's been a couple. Ziggiotti has committed a couple fouls on O'Sullivan, has got away with a couple, has been called up on a couple. We saw O'Sullivan just lump into Ziggiotti off the ball while the ref wasn't looking. There's a bit of a contest brewing there, and I think, as you say, it could definitely spark up as the game continues.
But not only you got that, you got Mallard, whose tempers are somewhat frayed, and we've seen United this season perhaps struggle for discipline at times. Bernabé back into Fisk, plays it forward. That's cut out well by Narsoon. Ball in behind from Ziggiotti. Now Turland wants to take on Fisk. Will go down the line. It's forced back though by Grace Fisk into Park. Park lays it into Ziggiotti. Now Riviere. Miyazawa back to Jade Riviere. Janssen carrying it well to the left-hand side. Sandberg now back to Dominique Janssen. Here's Maya Letitia. Park to Letitia. And now Dominique Janssen looking to clip that ball forwards. Fisk able to get in front of it well. Phil says Ziggiotti must have the ref's cat hostage or something. Yeah, the referee has... I'm very surprised the referee hasn't put Ziggiotti at this stage of the game. Shimizu. Kapox. Back to Shimizu. Bergstrom. Now into Fisk, who will carry it forwards slightly and then back to goalkeeper Falk. And we have seen Fisk and Clark swap back to their more natural sides. Fisk, Falk trying to play out. That's picked off by Ziggiotti. Park round the corner now soon. That is picked off well in there. A great interception from Grace Fisk. But a great pressing team like United are going to catch you out at times. We're just seeing Liverpool, perhaps the gaps between players a little too large on occasion. Bergstrom looks to switch the play. Holland's in Akers now. One-on-one with Riviere. Can she beat the full-back? Cuts inside. Brilliant defending from Jade Riviere. Stands her ground well. Intervenes at the right moment. She's had a really good game so far as she returns from suspension.
Yeah, superb from Riviere. Does so well. And I think that, of course, Holland is a very, technically good player. We know that... We know Kerry Holland has a bit of quality about her, but I think that's where you'd want a more natural winger that can go both ways to try and beat someone like Jade Riviere. You've got to keep when you've got someone like Riviere who's as good as one-on-one defending as she is. You've got to have someone that can kind of go both ways.
They're trying to double up here, and I like that. Pushing Bernabé really high, just drew in Riviere, and Holland was able to make the run beyond. That did go out of play though before she could get there. But absolutely, I mean, Kapox in that sort of position is going to be a little bit more difficult to guess. A little bit more unpredictable, which is exactly what you want from that winger. But yeah, Kerry Holland's been a fantastic servant. Is much more of a utility kind of player.
Yeah.
And does fill the function of that left wing in this system, especially when you want that fullback to be creating the width. Mallard wants to come inside. Bit of a pullback there from Alice Bergstrom. And that will be a free kick. And the referee reaching for a pocket. And that's a yellow card for Alice Bergstrom for a pullback.
It's incredible what timing does in a football game. Because that the thing is though, let's be it's a yellow
Yeah, it's
card.
absolutely a yellow
It
card.
is a yellow card, but it's just the contradiction of the Zigiotti one and a couple of others that players have got away with. It's just of course referees can't be right every time, but you need a level of consistency, even if you're consistently wrong.
That's the thing. I think too often referees, like with fouls and stuff, it's not as cut and dry. You can just not give early ones for a yellow because you want to manage the game as a referee. But with things like that where it's a cut and dry, that's either a yellow or it's not.
Yeah.
You've got to give the yellow card, and she didn't early for Zigiotti, and that will create frustration. Ball into the box, great goalkeeping from Falk, who is out well to collect it. And now looks to throw it and launch Liverpool on the attack. Thrown straight back to Sandberg, though. And now Janssen knocks it wide. Falk's trying to be very ambitious with the ball today. And I don't mind it because you do need to be ambitious to try and get that marginal gain. And to be fair, nothing she's done has led to them conceding a great opportunity just yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see they're just trying to overplay it a little bit. Miyazawa unable to keep that in touch.
I think that one was weirder than the others because on the other ones where she's collated the ball, been on the ball, she's tried to go quickly and then got it wrong or given it away. That one, she caught it, did the right thing in delaying and slowing down because she saw no options, and then just decided to throw it. That one was a bit of I thought she did the right thing initially to slow it down and just take stock of and let everyone get back into shape. But then randomly decided to throw it while Kapox was still getting out to her position.
Yeah, and we have another goal in the game at Goodison Park. It's Everton 1, Aston Villa 1.
Wow, miracles can happen.
Moment there. A goal from Martina Fernandez. Shoots home at the close range following a corner.
Oh, yeah, okay. Corner goal.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, a set-piece goal again for Everton.
I mean, it's not going to be one of their strikers. They don't have any.
And Aston Villa once again box defending, letting them down.
Yeah.
I feel like they're the two sides that have the most cut and dry results in the league. You know exactly what's going to happen.
I can see that finishing 1-0 and Aston Villa create like another 5 XG and then just don't put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Ahoy, Sarks, welcome to the stream saying I'm late. Good morning from the USA. How's the game been so far? Good morning. It's been a very even contest between United and Liverpool in the opening half an hour. I don't think either side's really dictated the game as much. United have probably had more possession, but they've not really done loads. In fact, they've had less possession. But they've just had more territory, I would say. They've had more chances, but nothing particularly clear-cut. So, yeah, I think it's been very even. This could go either way. If Liverpool can start to create things when they are breaking effectively in transition, then they will threaten United more. If United can find a way through the Liverpool backline, who have been very solid so far, then I think they'll obviously win this game. But yeah, Liverpool get a very good account of themselves in the first half an hour. They look a shadow of the team that start. Or I don't even know if they do. To be fair, I mean, people criticise Liverpool so heavily in the first half of the season. For me, they're playing pretty much the same, but they've got better attackers to execute what they're trying to do better, and their defence and goalkeeper aren't making so many countless mistakes.
Yeah, the way I look at it is that if you'd told me that this starting 11 lost their first 6 games of the season and was sat bottom of the league on 0 points, 6 losses out of 6, I wouldn't have believed you because it just they have come a long way. And I think that, as you say, they didn't start badly. I think they were a bit unlucky in a couple of those games, and it just didn't fall for them. But they have improved massively. They've done very well, especially because it's easy to get worse once that run starts. But no, they dug their heels in. They stuck with it. They believed in Gareth Taylor. He got back by the board, and now they're making it count.
Absolutely. Denise O'Sullivan carrying this ball forward. We said from the start, if you're bringing Gareth Taylor, you need to bring in players who are going to play the way Gareth Taylor wants to. Here's Holden on the left-hand side. This is looking good for Liverpool. Can she beat Riviere? Goes wide. Ball across the box. Blocked well again by Jade Riviere. He's having a really solid game at right back.
Yeah, another brilliant piece of defending from Riviere, but I like that from Holland. She's been too predictable in this game, has tried to come inside on that right foot every single time, but this time opts to go outside, opts to go onto her left foot and just keep Riviere thinking. It's not bad. Good piece of defending from Riviere, but I like that from Holland. She's starting to mix it up a little bit and try and test Riviere a bit more.
Absolutely. Locus says if Everton had 1 or 2 more players, they'd be all right. I think that's the case for every team in the league, isn't it?
If Everton had a striker, they'd be all right.
Oh, I think most of the teams, Everton, Brighton, Aston Villa, Leicester, they all need strikers. Everyone's need. Liverpool bought all of them. Ball in from Holland towards the back post, punched away well by Tullis Joyce. And that deals with the threat. And this is where I talk about goalkeepers being commanding of their area. Ball put back in from Shimizu, head away well by Letitia. Because she's surrounded by players there, but rather than going down and trying to just get away with sort of calling that as a foul, she's commanding. She's big, she's strong, and she gets a clear punch away.
Yeah.
To deal with the threats. Like I was saying, Hansen missed a sitter for Villa. And we've got another goal in the game between Brighton and London City Lionesses. It's Brighton 1, London City 1. They draw level in that game then, London City. And that is an own goal from Aweka Minami.
I have nothing to say. I have absolutely nothing to say on that. Just typical. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if all the games get levelled up, to be honest. I don't know if anyone's watching West Ham Tottenham, but I'd expect Tottenham to level that one up pretty soon.
They've had 11 shots and then put one on target yet.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd expect them to level up soon.
Here in the corner now, Alice Bergstrom trying to make something happen. Ball clipped into the area, and that's just behind Kerry Holland. And that a great opportunity for Liverpool. Ball into a great area, just unable to make contact with it.
And that's where you'd want Martha Thomas, but she was hanging around in the corner with somebody else. Thomas does really well up against Sandberg, puts it through the legs, picks out Bergstrom, who nearly got fouled by Mallard. I tell you what, I think that it's not a bad ball in, but their experience could have paid dividends, because with your number 9, your target forwards in the corner, you've just been nudged in the back by a player on a yellow card. I'd be tempted to go down there and you're going to get a free kick. It's a bit crafty, but I think knowing that you didn't have a striker to aim for and you could have probably got a foul out of that, I think I don't mind it from Bergstrom, of course, honest player, I respect that, but I think an experienced head might have tried to be a bit cheeky there.
Yeah, possibly so. Kerry Holland would have won a free kick.
Oh, Kerry Holland.
Penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Sandberg now. Throws it into Ziggiotti, bounce back, and Janssen able to pounce on it and just play it forwards. It was a not great pass back from Ziggiotti there. Put them under a little bit of pressure, and it gives it back for Liverpool's possession. Falk into Clark. Flipping it over the top. Held up well by Bergstrom, who's then dispossessed by Hinata Miyazawa. Letitia back to Janssen. Cleared away by Nagano. If Martha Thomas was to score today, I think she'd become the first player, definitely this season, to have scored against the same team playing for different teams.
Yes, yeah, that's a very good point.
I can't think of any in the WSL recently that have done that.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. Even not just this, obviously this season we're in the January transfer window. I'm trying to think other years where we've had a cross.
There's a lot of the WSL into moves tend to happen in the summer when contracts expire, so we don't tend to see it happen too often.
I think usually you get it in the calendar year. So a team would have scored. They'd have scored for one team in 24-20. One team in the end of one season, and then another team at the start of the next season. But yeah, I do wonder if we've had any within the same season.
That's a challenge for everyone watching the live stream. You can think of anyone who scored against the same team but playing for different clubs in the WSL last night. Ball running out of play. That will be a United throw-in. As they look to progress down the left-hand side, Liverpool with a few substitutions. And this is a very different looking Liverpool bench to what was in a few weeks ago with Silag and Mia Enderby out to warm up. A few weeks ago, they didn't have anyone that could warm up. Mallard on the left-hand side, breaks in behind. Flag's gone again. She kicks it away again. Got to be careful with that. Melvin Mallard already on a yellow card. Just frustrated there, not able to time her run.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tight. It is tight, and that's what I can understand where the frustration comes from. But you've got to keep your frustrations within the law. Maybe I mean the angle definitely favours her.
I think I was trying to do the line. I think she was offside.
Yeah, cheers. That's going to tell us everything.
Clark. Yeah, back to Falk. Playing through the lines, picked off by Miyazawa. Turland's dropped. Was it from an offside position? No, it wasn't. Zigiotti into Park now. Chops onto a left foot. Takes aim. It's blocked to Mallard, who goes to swing for it. Drops for Sandberg as it's poked away by Kapox. Sandberg now backwards into Dominic Janssen, who swings it into the penalty area. Turland, header up in the air. Cleared away by Fisk. Will drop now on the edge of the box. Turland still battling away. Her shot low. Wide of the mark. Frantic few moments there, and United unable to find a goal at the end of it.
Yeah, Turland will be frustrated with that strike. Should have been a better effort, really. Liverpool did well to clear their lines, but just couldn't seem to resist the pressure. Did all right to get it away. Turland, though, on the turn, probably should have done better with this. Bit of a wild strike and well wide of the mark.
Ryzen says, does Neville's own goal count? Well, she scored against Tottenham for Tottenham and scored against... What did she score? No, that doesn't work. She didn't score against Tottenham.
She didn't score. No, she... Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
She didn't score for Tottenham in the first half of the season, then score for them for Leicester.
Yeah.
Ball down the right-hand side. Now Zigiotti. Ball in. Held up well. Park. Turland. Not soon. In towards Mallard. Across goal, and that is, again, another chance begging to be poked home. It's cleared away well, and United really ramping up the pressure.
Yeah, good couple of minutes this from Manchester United. Liverpool are hanging on a bit here.
Now it's Miyazawa. Janssen. Ball towards the right-hand side. Park brings that down brilliantly. Puts it across the face of goal. Too close to the keeper. That one. You can see what she was trying to do there, hoping someone would just burst at the front post. But no one able to meet that cross.
Yeah, great switch of the plate from Dominic Janssen. The touch from Park was just pure class.
Mallard, again there, had just dropped from what looked like an offside position anyway.
Well, yeah, big chance. It's one of those that Liverpool were very happy that didn't go in because that would have been very frustrating for them.
Indeed.
But they need half-time. I think Liverpool's been a good spell, but United are having a good run of it at the moment.
Tottenham, at the 40-minute mark, yet to have a shot on target still. As we look around the grounds, everything is level apart from that match. But West Ham currently taking a really important 3 points. Sandberg, Mallard. I mean, they gain on everyone.
Yeah.
Ball into Sandberg, and that's cleared away well.
I mean, we're in a world where Leicester could end up bottom of the league today.
Yeah.
I just find that incredible.
Or they could stay ninth.
All they could stay ninth.
It's not unimaginable. Zigiotti, that's picked off, not had a play by Bergstrom. But yeah, they are currently slipping to 11th, and if Liverpool could find a goal, that would take them above the Foxes. Mallard. Now back to Sandberg. I think that is the correct order, assuming itself, if Leicester are to drop to the bottom of the league. You know, they've got some really important results, but that team is just not good enough. You know, they lost a lot of really important players in the summer. Mikel going wasn't the right time. Riviere carrying it into midfield. Holland jostling and able to win it back, and it's given as a foul, and she's frustrated there. Felt like 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Yeah, of course, you know, it's physical from Holland, but again, I don't think it was a fact. I don't think it's too egregious. No, there's nothing in that. There really isn't anything. It's just aggressive from both. Oh, she's got a bit of the shirt, but I think she's unlucky. I do. I think they're both just jostling for it.
I think whoever comes away with the ball there gives away the free kick, really.
Yeah, definitely. Just been a couple of those 50-50s that I think have fallen Man United's way more often than they have fallen Liverpool's.
Sandberg now. Over this free kick, or Zigiotti that will take it. Not a bad ball. Fisk able to head it away, though. And it's Park who collects possession. Back now to Miyazawa. And now Sandberg. Back to Zigiotti, who's just dropped into this deep position. Janssen trying to lay it back inside, picked off by Holland. somehow ends up in the possession of Turlan there as it bounces around the players. Miyazawa out towards the left-hand side. We have got an extra minute of additional time in this game. Park driving that ball forward with purpose. Now takes aim from range. And lashing at that in the end is Jess Park. Thought we might see another magical moment from Jess Park, who's produced already so many from her short time at United, but unable to provide the quality at the end of that run.
Yeah, feels like the kind of game that is going to need someone like Park to step up and deliver. But yeah, that effort was never really going to trouble Jennifer Falk.
Indeed. Speaking of Falk, she's now got this goal kick to take, which is going to be launched long, it looks, for Liverpool out towards the left-hand side. And Holland plays it down to Bernabé, who rolls inside well. Nigel letting us know Nordam has hit the post with a glorious chance in that game. How are Brighton not leading by all accounts? Showing the stats as well, they have been far the better side. And that is the half-time whistle here at the Lee Sports Village. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. Both sides have had opportunities. United probably the more clear-cut ones, but unable really to find a way past Jennifer Falk. And so at the break, it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. And while goals have been flying in around the league, the deadlock remains intact here.
Yeah, I think understandably so. Both sides have played pretty well. It's been an even game, but neither side has looked like scoring. United having the better chances, you feel, towards the end of that half and definitely looking the stronger side. But Liverpool had their moments, looked pretty sharp. The one thing they were lacking was a bit of quality and a bit of accuracy in the final third. But I think 0-0 is a fair result so far. Nothing to really split the two sides. United may feel like they could have found the back of the net at points in that first half. But overall, I think 0-0 is pretty honest for both teams and has set us up very nicely for what will be another competitive second half.
Yeah, it's been really tight. I think Liverpool are showing now they're not a side that we should be thinking, they're 12th in the league, so this is an easy win. They're a side whose quality is very much that of a 6th place, 7th place side, and they're showing that in this game. I think they've still got work to do, of course, but they're definitely getting closer to where they want to be. The signings they made in the January window are definitely proving to be really important, and yeah, we wouldn't have seen them compete like this. We didn't see them compete like this in the first half of the season against United. So this has been a marked improvement. And yeah, I think Liverpool are pushing now towards getting back to where they belong in the WSL. London City, by the way, in that game. Brighton 1, London City 2. With what is the last opportunity, really, of the first half. They break away, and with their first shot on target of the game, they score and they lead that game by 2-1. So despite it being all Brighton, London City, as it stands, reclaim the 3 points.
Tottenham's MO, that. They've stolen it from them. London City leading a game, one shot on target, scored 2 goals.
They are They are quite Tottenham.
It's just incredible.
City, because they give away lots of penalties. Which, that's been their thing for the last few years. But yeah, Freya Godfrey making the difference there has been really important for them this season. Everton, Aston Villa, that goes into half-time at 1-0, and West Ham lead Tottenham by a 0-0 as we see the half-time scores. But yeah, I think Liverpool have definitely matched. It's difficult to talk too much about a 0-0 because there weren't loads of highlights. We saw Liverpool trying to build out from the back, actually looking quite decent, but it broke down quite often when they got into the final third. Neither winger has been able to get the better of the United fullbacks so far. I think Sandberg and Riviere have both had really good games respectively. We have seen Bergstrom be a little bit stronger against Sandberg. Actually, she has got in behind. She has created, has had a few crosses that almost went in, but outside of that, we've not really seen them be able to create anything clear-cut or anything meaningfully good in the final third. So outside of that, Liverpool done really well. United have been really good at creating lots of chances, but nothing yet of quality, Harry.
Yeah, I think that it will be a point of frustration for Mark Skinner because, as you say, there have been chances for them to get in and cause issues when, whether it's making their own or Liverpool potentially making errors playing out the back. But there's been nothing clear cut. Falk's been called into called into action a couple times, especially early on in the game. But I don't think there was too much to after that. Even when they put on, I think they were the highest they were in the game was towards that first half, but they felt didn't really have to make a save. And we see that Mallard half chance when she was in an offside position, wasn't given, but it flashed across the box and no one got there. Probably the best chance in that 20-minute spell. But I say, apart from those early 2 saves from Falk to deny Turland twice, we haven't really seen Falk tested, and I think that Liverpool will be content with that, to allow United to have the ball, allow United to put them under pressure. But while United aren't threatening, they won't really care. But Skinner will be frustrated by that, because he'll sense that there have been opportunities for United to gain a bit of control, not only on the pitch, but also on the scoreline.
Yeah, they've not created anything strong enough, I have to say. 50-50 on possession. They've had 7 shots so far, but only generated 0.42 XG from those chances. I actually say only 2 shots on target, with the first and the 11th minute shots from Elizabeth Turland, both really wide of the goal. And Liverpool, yes, they haven't put a shot on target yet, but they've had lots of nearly opportunities. If Holland connects with the cross from Bergstrom, that's at least a 0.5 XG chance, because she was point blank range heading towards goal. So Liverpool have been closer. Not as much created anything that clear cut yet, but I do think Liverpool have probably been closer to finding a breakthrough, despite United having a lot of shots. They've not really created anything of quality just yet. How does that shift then? And what are United missing in this side that they could introduce themselves bench, or perhaps that they're missing in general?
Well, I was going to say, the difference between United before the January transfer window and United now is that they've got 2 of the best strikers in Europe potentially on their bench to be introduced. And I think that definitely Mark Skinner will be looking at Schuler and looking at Vangerheim to come in and make a difference in this game. I think that Mallard's really struggled in this contest and is getting embroiled in the combative nature of the game, which is exactly what Liverpool want to see. But I think she's really struggled. Nalsund, I don't think really has touched the ball, if I'm honest.
I don't think she's been too bad, Nalsund. I think considering that's not really her role. Yeah. I agree with not seeing her do anything flashy, but she's not done much wrong. She's not really getting embroiled in the middle battle. Her pressing's been fairly decent. I think she's linked up decently with Elizabeth Turland as well. But I do agree, what I would say is what you get from Nalsund is not what you get from someone like an Ella Toon. Toon not only draws players away with her movement, but when she does get on the ball, she's able to create great opportunities for those forwards, and they are just lacking that creative spark at the moment. Rivier's not really been able to cross the ball in as much as she would like to either. So where does the chance creation come from, apart from sort of central balls and balls in behind? We've not really seen them be able to create anything just yet. Park's not got in this game enough for me. There's a few times where she's wriggled through, but not enough in this game. Rivier's not got high enough for me, and they massively miss the creativity of someone like an Ella Toon. So yeah, I don't look at their bench today and say someone comes on and immediately makes them better. Maybe for Lina Rolfo, because you get a different dynamic from that left wing, someone who is a bit more creative, but is also going to be able to make those runs at the back post to try and meet those Riviere crosses. But they're not really getting those crosses in the box. We're not really seeing Park get in this game enough. That's what they've got to try and target, is getting the ball on the right-hand side and creating space for Park and Riviere to thrive.
Yeah, but also the ball has to be a back post runner. There has to be a back post runner for those kind of crosses, because Turland is not beating Fisk or Clark in the air. It's just not going to happen. So you're looking, exactly, Riviere's got to be either looking to cut it back to somebody like Amir Zawa, or getting that ball towards Mallard at the back post who can try and beat Shimizu. But I think that's the other problem, is that I think Turland's actually done well with the little opportunities that she has had, but on the whole, she's struggling to get into this game because she can't get on the end of anything, because she's just been beaten to it by one of the two centre halves who are both good in the air and both very physical. But yeah, I'll be intrigued to see how this goes. I wouldn't mind a Park shifting into moving into the 10 and potentially Vangerheim coming on the right hand side, and then being able to offer a bit more of a presence out on the pitch and just a bit of aerial threat potentially. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Skinner opts to do, because they've got to mix things up. At the moment, they're not hurting Liverpool enough, and Gareth Taylor will sense a real opportunity for his side to walk away with something today.
Yeah, and as they should. I think Liverpool are a side who are capable of beating some of these teams near the top of the table. I think that even the first half of the season, when things were going wrong, that game against Arsenal, they deserve to get something
Yeah.
from. That game against City, they probably deserve to get something from. They did get something from the game against Chelsea, but they got a point there.
Yeah.
So they've always been quite good and Taylor's been really good at setting his team up to play those slightly different games. What's been quite interesting from a United perspective today is actually, or a Liverpool perspective today, sorry, is that they aren't playing like they did in those matches where they were just super deep. They are actually trying to play out from the back. They are still implementing those attacking characteristics that we'd expect from a Gareth Taylor team. So there is a lot more positivity there. There is a lot more belief that they can compete against these sides player for player, and they've been very combative. It's just about that final third quality now.
Yeah.
Can they just create those chances? Can they get Martha Thomas into goal scoring positions? Because we've not really seen that yet. If not, they've got option off the bench, and that's a really important thing. I think Silag showed last weekend she's very lively. You know, I think she's able to create opportunity with her movement. She's able to be a handful for the United defenders. So I think that's a sub that could come on and make a big difference if Baker Olsen isn't fit to come on. They have got other options as well in those attacking areas. Enderby, obviously, with a big impact last weekend. Lawrence saying, why would you guys put Vangerheim on this pitch? Without space to run in, I don't see what she could do. Bring on Rolfo for Nalsund. Yeah, I mean, you can do. I would do Rolfo for Mallard and then maybe look at Vangerheim. I just think you need someone on there who wants to make things happen. And I think pushing Park central will give her a more increased role in this game and actually get her in this game a little bit more. And you almost just need to put someone on there who can play right wing.
Yeah.
So you can put Park inside. Maybe you can put Mallard on the other wing and bring on Rolfo, but I think with Mallard getting frustrated in this game, I'm not sure she's the best fit for that role. I don't think they'll change anything anyway, either side at half time. I don't think there's the need to yet. But I think United will be looking at changes soon. Leia Schuler's got to be the other one as well, perhaps, to be that option in the final third, be a striker who will make a slightly different run to Elizabeth Turland, maybe even throw two on up front together and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly that. United will, as you said, they won't panic just yet, but they will shift. I think the other thing of bringing Mallard off as well is that yellow card element. This game is very combative. It's gonna there will be scrappy moments. It's gonna get aggressive. We spoke about that Ziggy O'Sullivan battle starting to brew. I think across the board, this game is being decided by who's winning the individual battles. We've seen Riviere and Holland have a really good tussle. We've seen Ziggy and O'Sullivan. Mallard on a yellow card, it is a risk in these kind of games when it is going to be combative. And if she makes a challenge, gets it wrong, suddenly you're down to 10 players in a really difficult situation. But yeah, I think United, they won't look to the bench just yet, but they will. They will definitely turn to that squad depth if they can. I think that's what I like about these two sides now. With both of them recruiting really well in January, this fixture a few weeks ago would have been two sides with a big lack of squad depth, and it would be down to both 11s on the pitch to get it right. But with the really good recruitment from both sides in this window, they've now got really strong benches. So this fixture is going to is going to keep turning for the whole 90 minutes, and it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top. Because even if it doesn't matter who takes the lead, I think even if United take the lead, Liverpool will try and come back at them and try and make it difficult for them. So I think that first half has proven that this is going to be a close contest. It's not a game I expect it's not as easy as if United play a little bit better, they'll wipe the floor with them, because Liverpool are much better than that. So yeah, I think this game is going to be pretty close right until that final whistle.
Yeah, Amy O'Sullivan, welcome to the Strangers. Thanks, lads, for this great commentary. If you were Mark Skinner, who would you have bought in the transfer window? I still think United are missing a few profiles. I think they don't really have a backup centre half at the moment. I know Lundqvist can do that role. I know George can do that role. But then that weakens your depth in other areas. So I think a centre back would have been really important. The other areas, right wing, is quite light at the moment. I think they need another Jess Park. I know it's very difficult to just go and sign, but they don't have much cover on the right. They don't have much cover in the 10, especially with Tino injured at the moment. And Awuja and Nalsund aren't great options there. Speaking of which, I'd probably looked at another midfielder. I think that they could do better in terms of having backups in that role. Ziggy Miyazara are a fantastic pivot, but if one of them gets injured, I think United are severely weakened. Yeah. And you're looking at the Asian Cup in March, they won't have Miyazawa. And in that time, they play the League Cup final, which is going to be a really tough game. And sorry, I know you're annoyed there watching Weka Minami with the best finish Brighton have seen all season into her own net.
That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that is absolutely ridiculous. The defender, she's genuinely just smashed it past Ellen Daisy. That's not an own goal. That's Matchweek. No,
that's the most Everton goal I've ever seen conceded as well. Good finish from Salmon though, and the corner predictably poor defensively for Villa.
Sorry, yeah, it's just incredible. I watch some of these goals and you can see why these sides are struggling or not performing as well as that. Because Brighton, like, you watch Slater's got, you think, oh, it's brilliant combinations, lovely football. Got the other, and Manani's just leathered it past their own goalkeeper. Oh, it's incredible.
I do need a new striker. That's Minami's audition right there.
That's just no, I've never seen an own goal like that before. It genuinely looks like she's purposely just smashed it past Ellen Daisy. It's incredible. Hopefully we'll see nothing like that today. And that's what I've enjoyed in this game. Is both this game, we haven't seen any individual mistakes or a bit of slop, like we've seen too many Liverpool games this season where it's been decided by the fact they've made a glaringly obvious error. But in this game, both sides have played pretty well, and I'm glad. I want to see this. I want to see two top quality sides, play a game that's decided by who's the better side, not decided by which team makes the most errors or which team decides to just pass it to the opposition for on goal.
Yes, absolutely. And both sets of players re-emerge here at the Leeds Sports Village, and we can get back underway for another 45 minutes of WSL action on this Sunday morning. Referee blows her whistle, and it will be Liverpool to get us back underway. I think Kapok's going all the way back to her goal kick with the run-up she's taken, and she will indeed. Goes back to her keeper and back underway here at the Leeds Sports Village. Liverpool holding United to a 0-0 draw at the moment. Can that stay? Could Liverpool find a winner? Could United find a winner? 45 minutes to see what's going to happen, and we're hoping to have a little bit more action in front of goal. Clark plays it forward, picked off though by Melvin Mallard, who carries it forwards well. Now soon flick through to Turland, who looks to square it, and it's blocked, and probably should have been more selfish there, Elizabeth Turland.
Yeah, tried to switch it back to Mallard, but probably wasn't the right decision. Big interception from Fisk. But yeah, Turn just scoop it centrally. But I think she's got to go alone there. On her left foot, looked to blast it at the front post and try and force another really good save out of Falk. But did the selfless thing, tried to pick it back out to Mallard, and never really going to get it through Fisk there.
Indeed. Corner now for United, and it's going to be Ziggiotti with the in-swinger, putting it in towards the area, headed away well by Fisk, who's been commanding at centre-back. Park takes it past Kapox, takes aim, great save. Falls now for Ziggiotti, looking to create something here. Letitia wide again into Park, and that's what Park can do. Suddenly created what looked like an attack broken down into a shot on goal. Big save though from Jennifer Falk. Miyazawa lays it into the box, headed away well by Kapox and touched away by Holland. But United starting faster here in the second half.
Yeah, really good pace, good reaction from United, but Park, lovely little burst to beat Kapox and hit it with some venom. Jennifer Falk, though, equal to it. Gets two big palms behind it, manages to get it away and also parry it clear of any further danger. But United, exactly the reaction Mark Skinner would have been looking for from his side, and they'll be hoping to try and break the deadlock early in this second half.
Ball now out to the right-hand side, and Park there. Dean to have just timed that slightly wrong and gone too early. It's offside. So that'll be a Liverpool free kick. But yeah, another look at that Park shot then. It just fell out to her nicely. She just pushes it past Parks, opens up the space for the shot and struck across goal well.
It's a great save. It's an absolutely brilliant save from Falk. It's hit quickly. It's coming at her quick. She reads it well. And as I say, the distance on the parry is even more impressive. Could have easily just patted that down to someone, to someone in the 6-yard box, but got it clear of the penalty area.
Indeed, that long free kick there headed on, and it will go back to Tullis Joyce. Now Janssen plays it inside to Miyazawa. Sandberg. Mallard turns well. Shimizu jumps on it and knocks it out of play. Sandberg into Janssen. Now Tullis Joyce, Letitia. Wider still to Jade Riviere. Let's go down the line. Park controls it well. Riviere. Flicked on by Miyazawa. Sent forwards by Sandberg. A good battle here between the two sides. Just a game of headers. Zigiotti heads it on. Now Clark loses out to Niall Soon. Falls back to Clark. And that's sent up in the air. Headed down by Janssen. The battle continues in midfield as it's hooked away by Zigiotti. And Fisk just settles this game down by knocking it out of play.
Yeah, Liverpool just need to be careful that this game doesn't start to run away from them and United don't take complete control of this.
Letitia knocking it in behind. Turlen makes the run. Clark will get there. Tries to poke it out of play. And that has gone, and it will be a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, again, United getting the ball and getting players the wrong side of Liverpool's backline. It's a good run from Turland. It is well worked. Clark does well to recover. Don't think she did enough to keep it in though. Yeah, that's you can't really tell, but I think that's probably is a corner.
Yeah. And the corner now for United. And so Sandberg to take. Again, they're looking for that in swinger. A lot of height on it now. Bounce right over everyone. Park now. Delivers it back in towards the back post. That will bounce through. Sandberg again. Not quite able to create the angle to cross it. And Letitia slips. Bailed out well. Now Riviere punts it into the area. Headed away by Clark. And Nagano doesn't get much distance on that. There's an offside flag on Melvin Mallard, who challenged for the ball. But the deliveries from United on these corners, they're trying to go towards the back post and head back across the face of goal, but it's just not quite working.
No. Again, I think that corners can be a massive tool in the modern game, but only if you use them well. I still think there's a lot of sides in the women's game who are yet to kind of unlock that, threat.
Here is Park. And there is a foul given in there. Advantage was played as Riviere was caught. United going backwards do get the free kick. I think as soon as there will be a side that leans into some of those different aspects of the game, leans into just being really transitional, leans into set pieces.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Brian Sorensen. He just decided to become a corner
That
team.
would be, it would make sense if they lent into all those different aspects. But Sorensen loves to have control, especially with possession. Mallard out towards the right-hand side. Park brings it down nicely. Can she find the cut? Actually can. No, soon, and that's a really well-struck goal. Jess Park, the architect. She squares it to Narsoon, and that's a really tidy finish. Firing home emphatically. United take the lead in this game. They find a way through the Liverpool system. It's a lovely ball floated into Jess Park. She just takes it down well, passes it across to Narsoon, and the deadlock is broken. United lead here by a goal to nil.
You felt the tide was turning in this game, and United making it count. It's a lovely ball from Mallard into Park, who delays nicely. Narsoon, brilliant run onto the penalty spot. In acres of space, and when you get set up like that by Jess Park, you're expected to smash it into the back of the net, and Narsoon does really well. Rolk puts it to the far side of Falk, looking for that far corner. Doesn't quite find it, but it's enough to beat the keeper. Really well taken strike. United deservedly lead. Much better in the second half. Really good 7 or 8 minutes for United.
Much higher intensity for United. That's what wins them the ball back there. Mallard carrying it forwards. Fantastic ball from Melvin Mallard to open up the pitch and just stretch that Liverpool defence. And it creates the pocket of space centrally for Narsoon. And Park does really well to delay. And United take a deserved lead here. And Park now up for it. Narsoon into Turland. Back towards Jess Park. Not quite enough on that back heel though. And Liverpool regain possession.
Yeah, Liverpool need to get into this game. They need to wake up a little bit. It feels like they're sleepwalking out of the dressing room into this second half, and they've got to be careful that United don't take this game and run with it. Got to try and stamp their foot down and work their way back into this contest.
Zigiotti forwards into Turland. Good hold up, but recovering challenge from Arthur Thomas turns possession over again. Here's Holland, wants to take on Jade Riviere. Riviere stands her up nicely. What can Holland make happen? Delays need support. Goes back now into Bernabei. I imagine Taylor will now look towards his bench. You've got to go for this game a little bit more now. That the draw's not on, you can't hold on. You've got to find a goal.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably look at some attacking reinforcements.
Yeah, they need energy. That combativeness just seems to have been zapped out of them a little bit. And United are pouncing on everything. And so they've just got to make sure that they don't get caught out and end up, we're sat here in 10 minutes' time and they're 2 or 3-0 down.
Indeed. Bergstrom. Great hold up. Ball in behind from Parks, and Thomas times it well. And she's in a one-on-one here against Letitia. Cuts it across goal. Brilliant tackle from Ziggiotti there. Gets it spot on in the area. And if not, that would have found Denise O'Sullivan in the penalty area. And that would have been a great chance for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a brilliant tackles. Those two again, Ziggiotti and Denise O'Sullivan. But timed to perfection. Really good run from Thomas. The ball across was perfectly weighted as well. And without that intervention, you'd have expected O'Sullivan to level this game.
Indeed. And we have a goal in the game at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Tottenham do draw level there. Matilda Wimberg finally scores. All it took was me taking her out of my aerial fantasy team. And suddenly she's scoring pearlers. Set up by Toko Kogra. A goal from outside the box and fired into the top right corner. Apparently a great goal there. A 27-11 saying what a goal from Tottenham. So that's an important one as well. Especially as United take the lead. Tottenham don't want to lose touch completely of those top 4. Here's Holland. Shimmy's back inside. Curler towards goal. And Thomas can't quite direct the header goalwards. Better though from Liverpool, that move.
Yeah, really tidy from Holland. Carries it nicely up the line. And then looks to dart inside. And it was Martha Thomas who just flicked her head towards it. Couldn't make contact with it though. Just looked to glance it on towards goal. But went just missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So also that Tottenham goal was also a big one for Liverpool. Because it will mean that West Ham wouldn't pull too far away from them if the results were to stay the same.
No, it would lengthen the gap, but only to 2 points. That would mean Liverpool would still sit 1 win away from climbing up to 9th. So this wouldn't be a bad weekend for them, provided neither Everton or West Ham can find a win. Obviously not perfect, because they prefer Everton and West Ham to drop points, but not too bad. Every chance Liverpool still get a goal back in this game. It's still fairly even, and it's Liverpool since the goal who've looked the better side. Letitia. Pushed over there by Thomas, not deemed a foul, and she breaks into the space. Ziggiotti gets back across. She's going to be under pressure here, and it's good goalkeeping there from Talis Joyce to jump on that.
Yeah, again, better from Liverpool. They've reacted well to going a goal down, and I really like it from Thomas. Good play to put Ziggiotti here under a bit of pressure. Just trying to see it out, but Thompson gets round, pokes it, keeps it on the pitch, but couldn't pick out a teammate. Talis Joyce swept up nicely.
Yeah, as it is, asks host Clinton or Park. It depends on the question you're asking, but I think Park's a better player. I think they're very good. I think people are underrating Clinton now because she's not played yet for City, really. Well, she's not played in her position. I think next season they'll start to integrate her more in that Miedemar role, and I think she'll thrive.
Yeah.
But I think they're fairly even, but I do think Jess Park is slightly better. She's also the profile of player I prefer more. A dynamic attacker, a tricky player who can operate in the pockets really nicely. Clinton's more of an out-and-out goal-scoring midfielder. I think Park's a better creator, and Park's goals are much more aesthetic. But I think Clinton is probably a better rounded finisher.
Yeah.
But I think it's much closer than this season would suggest. Liverpool with this corner. And it's Holland over this. And Liverpool create an opportunity as we near the 60-minute mark into a good area. Confusion in the area. Can they poke it home? Off the line. And it's there, and Liverpool are level. Is it offside? No, it isn't. Liverpool score, and it's Alex Bergstrom who gets the final touch. Confusion in the 6-yard box from United. No one clears their lines, and it's bundled home That's like watching an NFL touchdown when they get it to the line, just scramble it over the line into the goal. It's Bergstrom who gets the touch. And Manchester United pegged back. And they're level in this game now, Liverpool. And it was off the line from Letitia. It bounded around the area. No one from United dealt with it. Tullis-Joyce flapped wildly at the initial delivery. And Liverpool able to capitalise on that mistake. Alice Bergstrom deserves that. She created the opportunity by being on the goalkeeper. Tullis-Joyce panics. And Liverpool find a leveller.
Absolute scramble. And once again, Manchester United's box defending this season lets them down. No one deals with it. No one is clear enough to just, decide they're going to deal with the ball and get it out, and Liverpool pounce on it. As you say, Bergstrom was absolutely fine. It wasn't a foul on Tullis-Joyce, backing into her slightly, but if anything, the goalkeeper's got to be stronger there. Got to push her away and make it difficult. But yeah, that's the kind of one. You can't really tell there's any more infringements in there. It was an absolute mess, but Liverpool will not care. United, defending their own penalty area once again, lets them down. Liverpool, fair play to them because they've reacted really well to going a goal
United
behind.
Now looking to capitalise on a mistake. Soon finds her second, and what a game this is becoming. They break away quickly, and Soon has a taste for goals today. Liverpool, mistake playing out from the back. United pounce quickly, and that's a really tidy finish from Lisa Nalsoon.
Wow, incredible performance from Nalsoon this afternoon into the side and having a massive impact. It was O'Sullivan caught in possession once again. Chased down by Ziggy of all players.
Just nudges her there.
Yeah, it's too weak from O'Sullivan. Got to be stronger.
Yeah.
Nalsoon, though, take nothing away from her. Really tidy finish once again. A player not known for her goals. But that is a really nice finish.
I was going to say, two really good finishes from Lisa Nalsoon in this game. It is something she's been working on in training. She's been watching Leah Schuler and Elizabeth Towland and Melvin Mount, Ellen Vangerheim, and they've signed all this money, spent all this money on strikers. But it's Lisa Nalsoon with two really good finishes that gives United the lead again. But Liverpool now looking to spoil the party, and people predicting thrillers at the start of the show. Phil said it'd be 3-3. I was doubting that at half time, but at the rate they're scoring goals at the moment, it doesn't seem too far fetched.
Yeah, two different feelings on the benches there. Obviously, United very happy to respond immediately, but for Gareth Taylor and Liverpool, it's not good enough. You've just got yourselves back into the game. I thought they reacted really well to going a goal behind, got that leveller for a bit of a scrappy corner, and almost instantly have thrown that all away again. Yeah. That would be a real point of frustration for Gareth Taylor.
Well, Taylor was still celebrating, and then suddenly, we conceded, and he's fuming. But yeah, it's a strange sight to sort of see him on the touchline today, Gareth Taylor. And not up in the stands. Thomas there trying to play Bergstrom in behind, and it's picked off well by Sandberg. But what a crazy game this is turning out to be. So many reactions in the live chat. Not sure who's to pick up on, but thanks everyone for getting involved. A sudden just flick of emotion in both directions there. First gutted for United, followed by relief, I would say, and Liverpool jubilance thwarted by that Nalsoon goal. Here is Shimizu on the ball, goes back to Falk.
There's more goals in this game. Absolutely more goals in this game.
At least one, isn't there?
Yeah.
If it goes to Liverpool, I can see another one. If it goes to United, I could still see another one, to be fair, and that would be 4-1 or something like that. But yeah, there's definitely goals. I agree there. O'Sullivan. That was a foul there on Kerry Holland. And Rivier's not happy about it. She thinks it was a handball from Holland, but referee giving a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll tell her what, it was a handball from Holland because she shoved her into the ball.
Yeah, and kicked it into her arm when she was falling. Here's Bergstrom. That's a great delivery. Thomas header on target. Good save from Tullis-Joyce, who claims that well.
Thomas has done well there, to be fair to her. The ball, it's behind her, and she's done really well to drop back and get the header on target. Not an easy one when you've got to when you're trying to head the ball while running backwards. But Thomas deals with it well, jumps backwards, decent header, hits the target, but Tullis-Joyce is always going to save that one.
And that's where the understanding comes in, because Bergstrom's looked to hit Thomas's position, but Thomas is looking for that to be in front of her so she can run onto it.
Yeah.
But it's just where that understanding comes from. But but it's looking better attacking areas from Liverpool in the second half. And much better, obviously, attacking areas from Manchester United. But it's just, this game's come to life. That first goal, Liverpool had to go for it a little bit more, and that just opened the game up. They got their goal. The game was still open as United found theirs. What do I say on this Bergstrom goal? And we didn't get too long to touch on it before the game was United leading once again. But Taylor's Joyce in the first half, I spoke about how she gave a great example of commanding her area. That, a really good example of not commanding her area. So if there's any textbooks out there on goalkeepers commanding their area, two great examples there. One for the positive, one for the negative from Taylor's Joyce in this game. Not soon, though. A fantastic finish. Clark can't stand her up. And they've just opened up there after O'Sullivan was caught in possession.
Yeah, it's been a cut of those from Denise O'Sullivan. And whether it's adjusting to the league or adjusting to the system, not quite sure to put it down to. But I think, of course, we know.
I think there's going to be an adjustment in the league because it's much more combative.
Yeah,
I think she's learnt that in this game against Ziggy.
Oh yeah, that's probably a free kick in the NWSL. That's Ziggy there turning the ball over. But with the combative nature of the WSL, that's completely fair from Ziggy.
Now both sides looking for changes here. Liverpool want a lively forward. United want some stability out wide. So Rolfo and Silag will come on at the next change, at the next stop, and it's going to come quite quickly there as Mallard knocks out a play. That's too early. Back to Shimizu now. Clark. Sandberg now back into Clark. And now to Sandberg. Chris Ben Daish asking, who do you guys support? We are incredibly neutral on this show. But we are Chelsea fans, so look forward to the show later where we will try our hardest to be incredibly neutral. But if Chelsea score, we might celebrate a little bit. Here's Riviere. And this is now the time for changes. And so it's going to be Elizabeth Turland making way for Fridolina Rolfo. Presumably that will see Melvin Mallard take up the number 9 role, and Rolfo will move out to the left-hand side.
I'm not sure about that one. No. I think Mallard's very lucky to still be on this pitch.
But, I mean, it gives something different in that attacking area. Presumably they'll go Schuler in 5-10 minutes anyway. And it's Alex Bergstrom who makes the goal scorer for Aurélie Silag. Yeah,
Bergstrom, obviously another goal for her. I think she's looked bright. We've seen some really good stuff from Bergstrom, but I think we've also seen some she's still very raw, adapting to the league. So understandably.
You surprised to see Bergstrom off there?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's one of your biggest crossing threats.
I know, but as I've just said, I think we've seen some good stuff from her, but I think that there's still some elements where you can still tell she's very raw to the league, and I think you want to keep Thomas on there as the experienced forward to lead the line.
Here's Holland. Wants to try and beat Sandberg here down the left-hand side. Sandberg stands her ground well. Holland puts it into the box. Miyazawa clearing it away. Not a great delivery there, but she couldn't create the space to cross it in.
Yeah. This will be interesting now, though, the fact they have also swapped with that change to Bergstrom, Silag now going onto the left. It's going to give Riviere something different to put up with, and Holland a go to try and take on Sandberg.
Yeah, throwing on this near side then. Shimizu taking her time. Does now throw into Thomas in the box, who's nudged there by Janssen. Probably could have made a bigger deal of that. Martha Thompson tried to get a penalty, but it's out of play for a Liverpool throw once again. Shimizu throws it short. Bounces it from Parks, and the pass is poor. And United can look to spring forwards quickly now. Ziggy into Melvin Mallard. Wants to take on Clark. Has the supporting runs around her. Rolfo overlapping. Good defending though from Clark, and she'll see that ball out of play. Liverpool need to introduce some urgency though. 23 minutes left. And they need a goal to get back into this game.
Yeah. They've got, of course, they've got options, and that will help them. That's the thing that we have. Usually, Liverpool in this position this season will be like, well, they're not going to turn this around now because they've got no depth. But they've already brought on Silag. Enderby will probably come in at some point. If Olsen's fit enough, she'll be introduced as well, you'd expect. So they've got options off the bench if they need them. But as you say, they want to get a move on about it and try and level this game as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Janssen there trying to play out, blocked out of play by Kapox. And that will be United throwing on this near side. Taken quickly by Sandberg, Janssen. Mallard holds it up well, now out towards the right-hand side. Here's Park. What can she make happen? Silag able to get back in there and do the defensive work. Now Riviere with the throw-in on the far side. Goes backwards. Letitia carrying that ball through the lines well. Now into Park. It goes back to Ziggiotti. He's going to try and drive this ball forwards. Park. Ziggiotti. Clipped in, and that's blocked well by Fisk, and that's out now for a United corner.
Yeah, again, lovely move by United. Really nice football, and they'll know if they can get a third in this game, that would probably see them walk off this pitch with the 3 points. Massive passage of play now. If United can just nick another one, then you think they'd be home and dry. Liverpool got to hang in there and then look to spring and break away.
And it's Sandberg over this, and yeah, United haven't had it all their own way from these corners. Haven't been able to create anything just yet. Ball in towards the near post, and not able to create anything from this one either. It will be another corner though as it's headed away. I think it was Holland in there who has been made to feel the price of that header. She's down. Referee checking that she's okay. Surprised the medical team haven't been called on here because it was a head injury.
Yeah. I like the routine, though, from United. They're trying something that we have seen other teams use, which is try and play it into front post and get the player there to flick it on. Mallard, though, couldn't quite meet that one.
I'm very surprised they haven't given Holland a better check there, considering it was a head injury, but she does seem to be okay. Sandberg delivers this in towards the back post, and that's on target, actually. And a good push away there from Falk.
Really well read from Falk. Lovely in-swinger from Sandberg right on top of the goalkeeper. Would have gone in without the intervention. But luckily for Liverpool, and that's a good piece of assertive goalkeeping, pushes Ziggiotti out the way, gets two closed fists on it and punches it away. And
He's actually punched it up into the bar there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Corner now again then. Ziggiotti puts it in there, headed away. Now Park. Trying to create the angle for the cross. Tidy turn from Park. Opens up the body now and takes aim. Straight down the throat of Jennifer Falk.
Yeah, really good stuff from Park. Spun away from O'Sullivan well.
And now out to the left-hand side for Liverpool, and it's already Silag wants to take on Jade Riviere. Looks to drive past her, and Riviere pokes it out of play. And I'm very surprised it's been given as a goal kick there. The referee giving that to United.
Yeah, we'd like to see that one back. Silag, though, gonna have to do better than this to try and beat Jade Riviere. Does well, tries to beat her on the left-hand side. I'm not.
I think she just kicks it out of play, Jade Riviere.
Yeah, I think that's a corner.
Either way, though, given as a goal kick. So United will look to play out again. This one sent a little longer. Clark wins the header. Now Rolfo quick to react. One back low by Fisk. And now Shimizu. And Liverpool can play forwards. Holland wanted to be positive. Has to go back to Shimizu. Back to Holland. Exchanging with Shimizu. And Clark launching one forwards. Ziggiotti brings it down. Tallis Joyce. Into Riviere. Now Janssen. Miyazawa bouncing back into Tallis Joyce. 17 minutes to go. Liverpool are to find a way back into this game. It's going to have to be soon. But I'm sure United also want to be positive. If they can get a goal, it just kills this off.
Yeah.
Miyazawa, good press from O'Sullivan out for a United throw. And Sandberg to take. Trying to find an option down the line. Narsoon brings it down. That touch, though, is loose, and that will be a Liverpool throw-in. Shimizu. Now Fisk. Shimizu. Kapox. Brilliant from Holland to let that run to Shimizu. Ball into the box. Dealt with poorly. Kapox. Can she get the shot away? Her touch is poor. And Janssen clears. But that could have been the leveller there for Liverpool. Again, Tullis Joyce has just looked really shaky today.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one back. I'm not really sure how Thomas didn't beat her to it. She was in front of Tullis Joyce as the ball came in and hasn't been able to make contact with it. Tullis Joyce flaps at it, falls to Kapox, who either the touch has got to be better in that tight area or she's got to hit it first time. Looked to bring it down. Touch was too heavy and, yeah, just couldn't get it the shot away.
Great drive forwards here from Cornelia Kapox. Plays it forward into Thomas, who tries to turn out and create something. Cleared away, though. Shimizu pouncing on the loose ball. Now Nagano. Ball down the line into Silag, who tries to touch it back, and Park latching on the loose pass. Miyazawa. Clipped forwards by Riviere. Be recovered by Fisk. Goal in the game at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. By the way, it's West Ham 1 and surprise, surprise, Tottenham 2 goal from Olivia Holt. Struck from outside the box. I feel like that's her MO at this point. Yeah. Manchester United, the side with the fewest points dropped from winning positions. 0 this season. Could this game be the difference?
Potentially so. Potentially. They're going to hang in there. They've got to make sure they see this through.
They're also joint with Leicester, which I think is more because they haven't had any points, been in winning positions this season.
Yeah.
Apart from the games they've managed to win. And Man City as well, who haven't dropped any points.
Yeah, yeah.
Apart from the opener against Chelsea. So, yeah.
Why is Rick Passmore there?
Why not?
What's going to football?
What else is he going to do with his afternoon? They've got United next week. Passmore doing a bit of early scouting.
I can't wait to turn up next Saturday and see how much his extra scouting makes a difference.
Make sure to join us for that game. And he says, I feel like if Fat wasn't in net, it'd be 3 or 4-1 to United by now, proving my point in the importance of a great goalkeeper. Absolutely. Fat's really important today. 4 saves, I believe, from her. Not much you could have done about either of the goals, either. Luvu Daitch is here a little early saying, go Corinthians. Indeed, we will be live for that game in a few hours' time. But we've got the last 15 minutes of the match here. We've got an entire game between WSL title rivals Manchester City and Chelsea to play out as well. Join us for that after this stream. And then later this evening, we will be live as Arsenal take on Corinthians in the FIFA Women's Champions Cup final.
Massive games. Lots of massive games. I think even important last few minutes here. And an important goal there for Tottenham as well, which will see them close on the top 4. But also with Brighton losing, Aston Villa drawing, we'll see. They'll extend that gap to the mid pack, which is exactly what they need to do. Lundqvist on, by the way, for Jade Riviere.
Yeah, Riviere just picking up a bit of a knock there. Hopefully nothing too serious. Really important player for Manchester United, though Hannah Lundqvist has adapted really quickly to life at United. Looks solid in her cameo against Arsenal. Started in their last game against Aston Villa. Got her first goal for the club in that match as well. Clark there. Great defending against Mallard. It looked like she may have pulled her back a little, but I don't think she wasn't too aggressive in that.
It's a foul. The problem is, but again,
I think it's too soft though. Mallard's looking for the red.
It's a little bit soft, but also that's exactly what happens as a player when you get on the ref's bad side early doors. If Mallard's been honest all game and has been within the rules, then you get decisions like that fall your way. Oh, I'm not sure what's happened there. Bit of a spicy moment between Holland and Sandberg. I think Sandberg played the ball. Holland just caught her, and there was a bit of a disagreement to them. Sandberg got up extremely quickly and was hunting down Holland. I'd like to see that one back. I think it has been given as a free kick. Wasn't initially.
I was like, come on, Sky, go to replay. Holland chops inside.
So the ball goes, and then there's that after.
There's a bit of after.
Yeah, that's naughty from Holland.
Ziggy and Denise O'Sullivan, unsurprisingly quick on the scene to get involved in that.
I like Denise O'Sullivan. She wears her heart on her sleeve, which is probably her best and worst trait.
Yeah. A big goal, by the way, in the Championship. Sheffield United 1 at Charlton 0.
Wow.
Liverpool 2, I should say. The leaders would... that's a big draw of points, potentially.
It's their first loss of the season as well.
It would be, if that result sticks.
When do they kick off?
They're 30 minutes in.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. I was going to say. If that was 10 minutes to go, I'd be sat here going, wow, but that could end up 5-1 Charlton.
They've staggered all the kickoffs in the WSL2, something that is completely unfamiliar for fans of the Women's Super
They've also spread them out across days, I mean.
Yeah, they had a game yesterday at like 5:30, I think.
And isn't there a Monday night? There's been some midweek games as well? Because of the postponements they've had.
Yeah, they've had a few midweeks.
It's been quite good, because it means they had a lot of games on.
Absolutely.
It's like not putting all 5 games on the same day is a good idea sometimes.
And putting 4 of them on at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Here is Janssen. Sigiotti back to Letitia. Ball down the line. Rolfo will get there now. Looking for support. Chops it back. Fitz doesn't deal. Park. Big save from Falk. Liverpool just too open now. They've gone for this game, understandably, but it is giving space for United to attack into. Mallard. Back to Miyazawa. Now back to Janssen. He's going to float it in towards the back post and can't be kept alive there by Jess Park.
Yeah, another big save from Falk. Called into action, keeping Liverpool in this game once again. Park does well, hits it nicely, caps it nicely on the volley. Probably a bit too straight though. Would have liked to try and open up that far corner a little bit more. But United threatening to kill this game off. Liverpool just need to hang in there and keep doing what they're doing.
Indeed, 10 minutes to play here. We'll get into the lineups. So Chelsea lineups just been announced. We'll get into that as we start the next show. Big news though, no Lucy Bronze in the Chelsea squad, and Sam Kerr on the bench.
Wow.
So some big rotations there. Liverpool, a double change now. Woodham and Enderby on for Bernabei and Shimizu. So Holland moves to right back and Liverpool are going for this game.
Yeah, they sense an opportunity. Gareth Taylor would rather go for the game and walk off 3-1 losers than not go for it and only lose by 1 goal margin. I respect that.
It's just everyone pushing high now.
Can
they create that chance? Can they get that 1 goal they need? Clark wins it high. Here's Kapox now driving away from Melvin Mallard. Mallard tries to bring her down. Kapox weaves away. Denise O'Sullivan now takes aim. It's blocked. Thomas turns and shoots. That's blocked as well. And it's smashed away by Lundqvist.
Really good from Kapox. Superb. Mallard could not bring her down. And that's what being on a yellow card does to a player. Mallard hands all over but had to let go. Could not risk being sent off in that situation. And a huge block in there from Janssen to deny O'Sullivan. But Liverpool showing they still carry that threat with them.
Although can't keep that in play either, and that'll be a Liverpool throw. They are giving everything in this game. It's a 3-1-6, really, for Liverpool. They're 3 defenders, Woodham, Fisk, and Clark. I mean, Fisk's up in attack now. Nagano's then just the only player sitting, and everyone else is committed to the attack. Clark clipping it forwards, headed away well by Sandberg. That's another throw. And Sandberg has picked up a mysterious injury. Holland's tried to throw it in behind, but that
worth a try. Worth a try. But yeah, that knee, that, I mean, maybe it is an issue, but I don't think you injure your knee heading the ball away.
She might have landed poorly, but that definitely looks like game management.
Yeah, unless it is a niggle. We'll see. But yeah, Liverpool just probing. United have got to be careful in this game. that they don't let this lead slip. This is a big, important victory, as you say. Climb them back into the top 3, no matter what happens for the rest of today.
Yeah. Important.
And they need it. They really need to keep this good run going. Lots of big games coming up.
Well, that clash in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid on the horizon, and we would love to see as many English teams progress in the competition as possible, with Arsenal and Chelsea. Oh, it's seemingly destined to meet in the quarterfinals. United on the other side of the draw, though. And who doesn't want to watch Manchester United versus Barcelona?
That would be brilliant. Mark Skinner trying to coach a performance against one of the best sides in the world. They are going to make a double change for Man United. I mean, what a double change this is when you're 2-1 up in the game with 6 minutes to go.
It's Lea Schuler and Ellen Vangerheim. So Sandberg will make way. I think George must be there as well. Indeed, she is. Gabby George coming on to replace Sandberg. That one probably not planned, evidently, as George is hurriedly getting ready. But she will come on at left back. It will then be Lea Schuler for Melvin Mallards to lead the line, and Vangerheim on for Jess Park.
Changes like that, you'd think United were the ones chasing the game.
Yeah.
But looking to come on and just see the job through.
Yes, it gives them a bit of transitional threat if they can get the ball away, doesn't it? A bit of height as well in there that Park perhaps wouldn't offer you.
Yeah.
They are going to be quite deep.
Yeah.
And a change as well for Liverpool. Cornelia Capox making way. And that will see the introduction as we turn towards the subs bench of the reintroduction of Beta Olsen.
Here we go then, 5 minutes. Liverpool's hero of the season so far, I think you have to say. Can she come up big once again for them?
And it's immediately into Olsen, tries to flick it back, makes the chance to win it back off George. Schuler now poking it away. And they'll keep it alive here, Liverpool.
Thought Clark was going to pick it up there and put it off.
Nagano. Fisk back to Nagano. Now soon slipping in the press, and that will just give Liverpool space here to progress. Woodham goes down the line. Silag can't quite hold on to the ball. Does then win it back off Vangerheim. Fisk now. Back towards Clark. And now Jennifer Falk under pressure from Schuler. Plays through it well. Ziggiotti quick on the back of O'Sullivan. She's made her life very difficult today. Has Julia Ziggiotti done a number on Denise O'Sullivan. Vangerheim now. Can she beat Woodham? Overlapping run. Cuts it across. And there is the 3 points sealed as Rolfo pokes it home. A nice move from United. Fridolina Rolfo makes the run across goal and taps it home at the front post. And that a tidy move from Manchester United should see out the 3 points now.
Big goal for Manchester United. And as you say, that should be that for this game. Lovely football down the right-hand side. And Woodham just gets done. Silag doesn't track Lundqvist's run. Cuts it back. Rolfo gets into the front post ahead of Clark. And has the easy job of poking it home. Decent hold up from Vangerheim. Silag's got to do better there. Just does not follow Lundqvist at all. Allows her to run straight past her. Burst into the penalty area unopposed. And cut it back to Rolfo, who brilliant piece of movement.
I think she shins that one home, but it's the movement that creates the goal. And the finish, while unorthodox, is in the back of the net. That's her 7th goal this season. What a signing she's proven to be for Manchester United.
Liv went for the game. They had nothing to lose. Losing 2-1, 3-1 doesn't make a big difference to them.
Now Olsen chops inside, is going to try and get away from George. George just get back in there. Corner now for Liverpool. And this is where they did get that first goal, was from one of these corners. Can they threaten United once again? A goal at this stage would look like a consolation, but it could just open this game up again as we go in towards added time.
We'll get a lot of added time. There's been 4 goals in this half and a lot of substitutions. We're probably, I'd expect to see at least 5 minutes. So yeah, if Liverpool can score soon, they still have time.
Woodham delivered low, headed away by Letitia. Nagano now just lifting it into the box, headed towards goal. Enderby pounces, nods it down, strike now, over the bar.
Yeah, didn't quite catch it the way she'd have wanted to. Mia Enderby, who's on a bit of a goal-scoring run at the moment, and the guy just wanted to recycle it. Is it Fisk in there who gets up initially, and Enderby just couldn't keep the strike down?
Yeah. Touchdown well by Thomas, but Enderby unable to find the final strike. United, the team that WSL this season, the most goals by substitutes.
Wouldn't have said that with what felt like a lack of squad depth in the first half of the season, but
True, but they are a side who often don't kill games off and then just bring on the one sub that they got. And they make the difference.
That is true.
First half of the season, they had Mallard as a sub for a few games.
And
if they don't have Mallard as a sub, they've had Rolfo as a sub.
True.
So we have, and even games where they've rotated, they then do bring players like Jess Park on.
Yeah.
And Lundqvist was Lundqvist started, didn't she? Olsen, they're trying to cut back across, an offside flag there against the Liverpool defender. I mean, last week United had Schüller and Turland and Park, I think, supposed to go from the bench. Something like no, it wasn't Park, but Turland definitely scored from the bench. Great ball this from Holland. I'm not sure that was a warranted offside there.
It was a sharp piece of play. Thomas flicked it lovely round the corner to Olsen, who knocked it past Letitia. Flag going up, though.
Ziggiotti heading forwards, headed on by Schüller. Vangerheim plays it through. Chance now. Now soon cuts it back. Rolfo lays it to Miyazawa, trying to create space for the shot. Does take aim, clips it over the bar. And we've got 7 more minutes in this contest.
Well, I thought it'd be a lot of added time. That is quite a lot. But
do you think the third goal for United, though, would have seen them perhaps reduce that somewhat?
Yeah, but this isn't a UEFA or a FIFA competition, so no common sense is used in the WSL. But maybe if Liverpool get a goal in the next minute or two, it could be a late, great comeback. Who knows? We've seen weirder things happen.
To Janssen, now Letitia. Lundqvist tries to play it in behind, headed away. Now smashed forwards by Ziggiotti, headed on by Schüller. And Holland knocks it home. Falk dribbling past Schüller. Fisk. Now O'Sullivan. It is Fisk. And a big goal in the game at Goodison Park. Everton at 2, Aston Villa 1. What a huge 3 points that could be at this late stage for Brian Sorensen's side, who've given Villa a decent game there by all accounts.
Wow.
And it's Martina Fernandez with her second of the game.
Since unlikely goal scorers this afternoon.
And it's a set-piece situation headed home.
They are becoming corner FC.
Well, they'll probably win the Premier League then. Miyazawa takes aim, cleared away, only as far as Janssen. It's blocked well by Nagano. Miyazawa takes aim, and that rolls wide of the mark.
Wow. Double for Martina Fernandez. Aston Villa. They've got to be careful they aren't drawn into a really silly relegation battle.
They're still 5 points ahead of Everton.
Oh, they're fine. Okay.
They'll be all right.
That's massive for Everton. And Rick Parsnell, we sat there in the progress review or of Unity Stadium, where it's called now, thinking that is not a good result for Leicester or any of the sides down the bottom, but massive for Everton. And Liverpool sat here on the wrong end of a 3-1 result. West Ham are losing to Tottenham.
Yeah, the big winners really today are London City, who despite having just 1 shot on target, do lead Brighton. No, they've had 4 shots in the whole game. Ball in behind now, and Clark will see it out. Well, Schüller puts good pressure on, actually does manage to win it back, cuts it back, looking for Rolfo. Miyazawa now, who fires it home. The referee trying to get in on the act.
Why is she there? I'll say Denise O'Sullivan rightfully frustrated because she just couldn't win the ball back because the referee was in the way.
Why is the referee in the penalty area?
I had no idea why the referee's there. Yeah, Denise O'Sullivan will be glad that didn't go. Liverpool will be happy that didn't go in.
What a fire home, I think the ref.
Yeah.
Fancied a goal in this game. Full forwards, header won by Ziggiotti. And then launched by Fisk, and Enderby will turn away there from George, and the referee, I think, will caution there, Gabby George.
There we go.
Indeed, she does.
Yeah, very obvious one. Really good turn from Enderby. Gets dragged down. Easy yellow card.
Yeah. So, still a few minutes left in this one.
Yeah. I mean, it would be incredible if Liverpool managed to turn it around in the next 3 minutes. But maybe get a goal, I don't know, plus the goal, up the goal just by 1.
Yeah.
Marginal gains at this point.
Holland clipping it into the box. Headed on. Silag will compete. Seen out low well by Leah Schuler.
I thought Silag looked a lot better leading the line last week than she has on that left-hand side. Been quite quiet.
She's come into quite a difficult situation, though. I do agree. But it's a very different game and a very different situation. But yeah, I wouldn't use this game to judge.
No, not
level.
No.
And Rachel Williams also.
I was going to say,
attendance back.
Left the squad and staff using the weekend off to go watch Man United Liverpool. Fair play, that their fans.
Interesting though that she's not sat with Rick Passmore. She's sat with the injured United players.
Yeah.
Not even the injured United players who get to sit on the back of the bench though. The injured United players have to sit in the stands all long. Can Vangerheim get there? Good defending from Fisk.
Brilliant.
Ellen Vangerheim.
Brilliant from Fisk. Vangerheim's got a hold of her shirt, being really aggressive, and Fisk just holds her ground, doesn't let her through.
But yeah, I'm not sure why Galton's up in the stands watching while Toon and Beeze are sat on the bench.
No idea.
Even though obviously they're both not available at the moment. Denise Sullivan robbed the possession once again. Ziggiotti. Now to Naltoon. Lovely turn. Plays it in behind. Schuler's in to score. Saved well by Falk. And I think the flag is up after that one, though.
Yeah. Probably should have timed the run better and hit the back of the net there, Leah Schuler. Is she offside? Yeah.
No, it's tight. It's very tight, but I think the sleeve might be just ahead of Clark's sleeve.
Yeah. Give the lineswoman that one. Oh, Enderby, that's a really good nick.
And she created opportunities, cut back, blocked though by Janssen. And as we approach the final few seconds here, a red card in the West Ham Tottenham game awarded to Drew Spence for Tottenham. And this will open up the question of what on earth did Tottenham do without Drew Spence? Because they've used pretty much the same pivot for every game.
West Ham had a lot of red cards in their games this season.
Yeah, they draw them and they just make fouls.
Yeah.
O'Sullivan. Great space opened up there by Woodham. Delivery not good enough, really. It's cleared away, and that will likely be that for this first game of the week. Oh, first game of the day, I should say. I was going to say weekend, but nothing happened yesterday. Silag holds it up, back now to Woodham, and that will be the last action of this game here at the Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United 3, Liverpool 1, a much improved second half from United. Season seal all 3 points. Decisive in the final third. Pounced well on Liverpool, being somewhat sloppy trying to play out from the back. And that a really important 3 points. In 2026 has been a really strong turnaround from United. They had a somewhat shaky patch at the end of the year, but they're now unbeaten since the 14th of December. So a decent run for United, and after beating Aston Villa 4-1 last weekend, a 3-1 win over Liverpool here. Much better stuff for United recently.
Yeah, really strong, as you say. Dispatched of Aston Villa and then put up a very, very strong performance against what is a steely Liverpool side. Very combative game. They did well to deal with the challenges that Gareth Taylor's side faced. On another day, potentially the points could have gone the other way, but United showing their quality and class. Liverpool battled well, but there were just key moments in this game that went the way of Manchester United. the immediate response you feel to the game being levelled up by Liverpool. Niall Soon giving the lead back to United less than a minute after the Liverpool equaliser. That was the game-changing moment for me. And United never looked back from there. Liverpool missed opportunities and could have potentially taken the points at times in that game. But United overall, probably the better side.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for this early stream. Chris Benday saying, great commentary, lads. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We're back in just over 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. And we'll be back for the next stream. Not 25 minutes, I can't do much. We'll be back soon for Chelsea versus Manchester City. And we'll talk more about this game tomorrow. Join us for our weekend roundup live from 5 o'clock tomorrow. Join us for that. That, though, is everything from us for this first stream. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.